5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback whack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Hit him, 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 listen, hit him, listen. This Eagles talk, this talk Eagles. Philly bleed green, it's from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the Dark Child. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur King, baby, let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man, Dante the Dark Knight. Welcome. Eagles Talk is back. The NFL draft is about to go down. We're about to find out who we're going to add to this Super Bowl championship team to keep this run going, because you know we got to do it back to back. We got to go back to back, man. Are you guys still on a high from the Super Bowl? Because I am, and I missed you guys. I really did. I missed you guys, and I'm so happy to be back. Pat is in the house, our draft expert. This is usually his night. I usually just take a back seat. The Pat, the whatever Pat says goes. And Pat told me he's not ready to drive. I don't know. I don't understand this. But this is our annual NFL show, man. Let me just jump on here. Pat, give us some insight. Let me see. Are we on? Yeah, we are on.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, no, we're not on. Well, I don't see us on here. All right, let me see.
This is what happens when you win a Super Bowl. You sit back and relax for a while. You become a motivated speaker. Shout out to Dark Knight and his motivations.
Thank you, but I don't see why I don't see us.
I see us.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, sir.
You see us on there?
Yep.
All right. They must be, we've been off the air so long. They've changed some things on here. Okay, that's cool though. We'll make it work. So again, I don't see us. I wonder why.
We'll pin us in the group so we everybody will see us.
All right, pin us in the group.
Yep.
Hold on, I don't want to do that. All right, pin us in the group. I'm trying to share us to other groups and stuff, and it's not working. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I'll take care of that too.
All right, yeah, share us around. All right, so yo guys, man, it's good to be back. Big night tonight. I don't know. What do we need, Pat?
It's hard to actually sit there and quantify what we really need when you're coming off a Super Bowl championship. We lost some big pieces. We lost Mekhi Becton. We lost CJ GJ. We lost a big play Slay, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams. We had some holes to fill. Avonte Maddox, we had some holes to fill, but primarily on the defensive side, we're looking for more or less like an edge rusher, somebody that complement our Nolan Smith at the other end, because BG retired, so that's another big loss.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the type of losses that we need to solidify in this draft.
I definitely agree. You talking about some we don't need. So we need people. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, yeah, we definitely need people.
We got people, and we need people. We lost some key players, and I'm not panicking or anything like that. I think that we have backups for these people. It just remains to be seen if they can live up or replace the production that we've gotten from the people that left. Ajomo is going to be taking Milt Williams' place. I really like him. I love Milt Williams from the day we drafted him. Well, not from the day we drafted him because I didn't know who the hell he was, but but from the first time of me experiencing his play on the field, I liked Milt Williams, and he proved to be everything that I admired or I liked in him. He proved to be a very decent defensive tackle, as proven by his big contract that they signed him for.
Mm-hmm.
He was worth every penny of it, and I think Ajomo may be the next Milt Williams, if that's safe to say. So I feel comfortable with that. Maybe an edge rusher. I know Nolan Smith came on very, very strong at the end of last year, and I see his future being bright going into this next year. But losing BG is a big blow. Even at his advanced age, he still was bringing the heat. I know that we got along without him during that stretch when he was injured, but we also lost Josh Sweat.
Yes, sir.
And that's another defensive and an edge player. So I think we can use some help along that defensive line. I know Howie is big on, solidifying the trenches. So I'm just curious as to what direction he's going to move in, because Michael Williams, is that his name? Michael Williams? How you pronounce it? Michael or Michael Williams from Georgia, edge rusher. A lot of people have been talking about.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna pick him. He's gonna be going way before we pick. But I think we're going after monsters. We're going after, like defensive linemen, the bigger defensive linemen, like a Walter Nolan from Ole Miss. He's a 6'4", 300-pound, and he was just dominant at Ole Miss. If he's around in that teen area, I think we trade up and pick him up. You're looking at a edge rusher from Tennessee. I forget his name right now. It'll come back to me in a second. James Pierce. He is somebody that's dynamic off the edge. I know I said Tennessee, and nobody want to hear us getting anybody from Tennessee, not going to Georgia. But he may gives the opportunity to replace the speed that we had there with Josh Sweat. Then you look at the safety position. Mekhi Starks from Georgia, yes, going back to that pipeline and getting the Georgia safety. We traded Mikhail Bark, CJ GJ, and we're putting our hands in Sidney Brown to be that starting safety, but he's coming off a major injury. Starks fills a major hole. I know I saw up there Maxwell Harrison, the corner from Kentucky. He's a speed demon. The only issue I have with him is staying healthy. He didn't stay healthy for a long period of time, and you couldn't see his skills against some of the premier talent. But there are some guys out there. There are some. Listen, if Abdul Carter falls, if
he falls, it's because he tripped over his shoestring, because he ain't going. That's the only way Carter is falling, is if he trips over his shoestring on the way up to the stage. But I don't think he's going to fall nearly as far as we need him for Howie to be serious, unless Howie is, ready to go all out and get him, because it would take a ransom to go and get him. Now, what I do like about Howie going into this draft is he is well armed with draft capital to make some moves, and I have the probability of Howie making a trade tonight at 95%. That's how confident I am in him going to make a move in this first round, and up, not down, but up. He's going to make a move up. I've just seen a graphic on social media. I think it was just yesterday. And just going over the last 4 drafts, Howie has made a move in every one of the last 4 drafts in the first round, packaging picks to move up to get some cornerstone pieces that are now on our team. Last year, moved up and got Cooper DeJean, right? He packaged 3 picks, swapped with the Giants, I believe it was, and got Cooper DeJean. The year before, it was Jalen Carter. Although he only moved up a spot or 2, he still packaged some picks to get up and get Jalen Carter.
Pick is in.
Okay, good. What is it?
The first overall pick, the Tennessee Titans. With their first pick, they picked quarterback Cam Ward.
All right, so that's no surprise there. So he moved up, got Jalen Carter. The year before that, he moved up and got Jordan Davis. The year before that, he moved up and got Devontae Smith. And all 4 of them are cornerstone. Well, no, 3 out of the 4. I don't know if Jordan Davis I would consider a cornerstone player.
You know
But
what? I heard that conversation today, and I really want to weigh in on that conversation because you say he's not a cornerstone, but he is a significant piece to how this defense operates. Him in the middle, being that person to replace Fletcher Cox, making his defense move in different ways. It's even though he didn't play, the many snaps like Jalen Carter, he contribute by taking on double teams and freeing up Jalen Carter, by taking on triple teams and freeing up Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, and Nolan Smith. Listen, in the playoffs, we couldn't get ran against. Like, he was that mountain man in the middle, and it was outstanding. So
I'm not discounting his contribution, but it's a different thing to say a cornerstone. A cornerstone player.
He's not a
plays,
cornerstone, but he's a
I'm
very
about to say
good piece.
Well, that's all. That's the only point I'm making. I wouldn't call him a cornerstone player. I think he's an important player, but out of those 4 players, 3 of them are cornerstone players. Devontae Smith is a cornerstone player. Jalen Carter, a cornerstone player, and DeJean, a cornerstone player. These guys are.
Sorry about that. All these noises. I'm cutting you off. I apologize about that, Dark Knight.
Right.
But we got to trade. The Cleveland Browns is traded out of the second overall pick gave their pick up to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are now on the clock at the second overall pick in the first round.
Wow. It's going down. It's going down. And I've been out, away from Eagles talk for a while, and I'm doing the other thing. I don't even want to cross them 2 right now, because somebody might come across here and be like, "Is that Coach Dante?" No, it's not. This is Dark Knight. Dark Knight is here. So I don't want to get my
first name right there.
Oh, dang! I forgot to change my name. Darn it! All right, so I'll do that. But I don't even have a TV. I don't have a TV right here, so I'm blind. I'm blind right here.
I got you, bro.
All right, I gotta get us up on. I gotta get it up on.
I should put a mini TV right behind me, so right here, so you can see everything.
I know, and even if I pull it up and stream it, I'm gonna be way behind. So I'm gonna rely on your eyes tonight. Let me stop. I've been going so long that I'm out of practice. Let me welcome you guys that are in the chat room. Thank you guys for coming back. We've been going for a while, man. We are still celebrating the Super Bowl. Don't get it twisted. I'm still high off of that Super Bowl win, even though we are moving into the next season. And the first person in the chat tonight is John D. Patisse from South Kakalaka. He says, checking in. And what's up, Eagles Talk family? Missed you guys. We missed you guys too. Tony Burren, our resident from down under, is in the house. He said, it's football time. Well, kind of. But welcome back, Eagles fam. Yes, welcome back. John Wayne is in the house. He says, hey, y'all doing the draft? Yes, we are doing the draft, and I think that we're doing it now. Palatero's in the house. Palatero says, go Birds. Yes, go Birds. The official greeting of any Birds fans, especially around Philadelphia. And if you say go Birds to somebody and they don't understand what you're talking about, snatch their paraphernalia. Snatch their paraphernalia. If you say go Birds to a fan who is wearing Eagles paraphernalia and they don't recognize what you're saying, you have permission to snatch their paraphernalia, because they're not real. They're not real. And if anybody out there doesn't understand that this is the official greeting of Eagles Bird Gang fans, is go Birds. Go Birds. So now you know. So if anybody greets you or steps to you while you're wearing your Eagles paraphernalia, they say go Birds, don't look at them like they have 3 heads. Clifford Johnson is in the house also. He says go Birds. Tony Burns talking about Starks. He says Starks is turned up in all green suit. It's a sign. Yes, I hope that we do get him. We do need to replace the energy of CJ GJ.
Yes.
The energy of I'm not saying that CJ GJ was the best safety, right? But there's some intangibles about some players that make them very valuable to the team. Mm-hmm. Is he Hamilton, Kyle Hamilton? No, he's not Kyle Hamilton, but his energy and his persona, it was much needed for last year's team. I think it was a very integral part of that defense last year. We are losing his energy. We're losing BJ's energy, some of the big talkers on that defensive line, and we've got to replace this somehow.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think, like you just said, it's not the play, it's the leadership, the intangibles, the stuff you don't see on the field, the stuff that he brings to the actual the team itself, the aggressiveness, the toughness, the ag. Second overall, fourth. All right, yeah, the Browns got a haul from the Jaguars, but he did bring those.
So who would you think the Jaguars are going to get? Carter?
No, they're going to get the Heisman Trophy winner. Travis Hunter, man. They need a corner, and they need another receiver. Listen, pair him with Brian Thomas, and they should be doggone good. Listen. If Carter's there around 4, I think we make a move, because I don't think the Giants will pick Carter because they need a quarterback. They need to go Shedeur Sanders. If they don't go Sanders, they need an offensive lineman. They don't need a defensive guy. They need somebody to protect whoever they got back there. If they make that mistake by not picking Carter or Sanders, listen, they need somebody. They need offensive line. That's how we did. You remember 2013? We wanted Deion Jordan and we ended up getting Lane Johnson.
Yeah,
it's like, who's this quarterback turn to? He's gonna play the left side. We got somebody over there already, and he's become one of the best offensive linemen in NFL history. So we do have a pick. Is coming up there. They're talking right now, and I didn't do this. I normally do this on when we first open up. But I got to do a shot for our Philadelphia Eagles. And
I forgot.
It's been a minute since I had this start night. I'm going to be honest with you. It's been a minute.
All right, man. All right, so you are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around that is back because it's football season. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So in true Eagles Talk fashion, we're going to do our first shot tonight. So Pat, come on, let's do it. Everybody, Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve, the official drink of the Super Bowl champions, because that's what he's done all last year, and we're going to keep with that tradition during this draft. I'm doing some Red Bull. All right, so here we go. Everybody, raise your glass to our Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles, down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. Woo! All right, Pat, you're doing it.
Is that a little loud?
No, I did it. You're working the soundboard because I got control too. I played it at the same time, so we are so rusty. We are so rusty.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. With the second overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars, after they traded pretty much the whole draft to the Cleveland Browns, select.
Who is it? Drum roll.
Heisman Trophy winner, wide receiver, cornerback, Travis Hunter. That's a great pick for them, man, because he does fill that need at cornerback for them, and he also needs to. He can play that second receiver to Brian Thomas. You don't have to be the top receiver there. He can be the second fiddle, the third fiddle. Actually, they just got Tyler Lockett. Didn't Jacksonville pick up Tyler Lockett, I believe. So he doesn't need to get that many reps, but he's definitely going to play offense, and he can be a very good corner. Now, does his skill translate to the NFL to go against a Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown? We still get to see what happens, but this is a good pick right now for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and hopefully he pans out. And you know who's on the clock right now?
It's the Giants. They're going to mess up.
Listen, the best pick for him right now is the offensive lineman. They could pick a Duke Carter. They can pick Shedeur Sanders. But first of all, nobody's going to be blocking. Nobody's going to be throwing. That's going to be their issue. That's still going to be the limit. And that's always been their limit. If you're trying to build a good franchise and you don't have the monsters up front, just look at us. I hate to say we're the prime example. We built from the defense and offensive line, then we expand out. And that's one thing that I have to thank Howie for, because before we was like, we gotta get Howie out here. He's terrible at drafting, but he has been on point lately. He has been
Man,
really on
Howie
point lately.
lately, are you kidding me? 8 years, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and 2 Super Bowl wins.
Yeah.
He's solidified himself, and Howie we trust. And I was talking to a friend earlier today. Jeffrey is at the point where, no man, here goes some money right here. Go out, get it. I mean, like he just, he only have to, here goes some money. Go out, pick up some things. Come on back. I trust you. Don't worry about it. Here's the wallet. How he could turn over the wallet now. Howie's got that much trust. Jeffrey could just hand him the wallet. Here, go get us some people, man, and I'll check with you later.
Yeah.
And I trust him that much. He has proven himself. He had a plan, and he has. I'm not going to say he's stuck to the plan, because as a good leader, you have to be able to adjust on the fly. And Howie has done that. It's not as if he hasn't made any boo-boos in these last 8 years. He's learned from those boo-boos, and he's improved himself. And I would say in the last 4 to 5 drafts, he's done an excellent job in the draft and in off-season moves, and of course with the salary cap, because he's a salary cap whiz. So Howie is, to me, he's got to be, if they have an all-decade team, they got to have an all-decade team for front office, and he's got to be on that team, because he's done a magnificent job. And may I remind you, did I remind you guys we're Super Bowl champs? Okay, I just wanted to say that one more time. It just sounds so great, man. It sounds so great. So third pick goes to the Giants. I totally agree with what you're saying about they should build their lines. That's the only thing that they should be focused on. Now, Carter would fill that role because he's a defensive lineman, pass rusher. So I wouldn't.
But Dark Knight, he fits in the same role as Thibodeau, and Brian Burns. They traded last year and got Brian Burns. He's the same mode as these guys they had. He's a better player, I believe, but they're more experienced in the NFL. So it's like you got these 3 guys that's pretty much identical. You need some variety. You need to break that up. If you trade somebody, or you get a quarterback that you need, or offensive lineman that you desperately need. That's your need right now. It's not a defensive end that's not going to make that much of an impact because he's going against Lane Johnson. It is a offensive lineman that's going against Jalen Carter.
I agree with that. The offensive line is where they have dropped the ball in many of the previous drafts. When they picked Saquon, I thought it was a stupid pick because they didn't have a line for him to run behind. I didn't call the fact that they were going to trade him to us, but I called the fact that they were going to waste that pick because they didn't have a line. And their first priority after drafting Saquon should have been to build the line. I would have built the line before I spent such a high draft pick on a player such as Saquon. I would not have reached for Saquon without having the benefit of the offensive line. Dallas kind of did it the right way when they took Zeke. They had already built a massive offensive line, and then they took Zeke, and he had some very, very productive years. They just sucked, so they couldn't take full advantage of his years. But he had some great years those first 5 years. Why? Because he came in behind a solid offensive line. Giants, stupid, took Saquon, no offensive line, never built one around him.
The New York Giants pick Abdul Carter. He's off the board.
So he's off the board. So we don't have to worry about that.
He's a big-time Eagles fan. He was at the Super Bowl. He was at the parade. But he did say something very, very mature. He said, listen, I am a big-time Eagles fan. If I get drafted to the Giants, I will have to put all my Eagles stuff out and start being the fan of that team because that's my new job. And that's what you're supposed to say. And the Giants just did this to spite us. I hope he's successful in everything he does, not against us. But the Giants, again, they're going for the shiny toy instead of what they need. They're going for the 28-inch rims when they need a doggone engine.
Yeah. That's a good analogy. I love that one. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Yo, let me go to all right. Mike and Ike candy suit. What? Mike and
He's
Ike?
talking about Travis Hunter's suit.
Oh.
I know it's hard for him to put that hat on. Look at him. He don't want that hat on. He disgusted.
Yo, JT's in the house. Yo, JT, what's up? Hey, let me announce now. We need to go. We're coming down there. We're coming down there for the Bombanders game. So, JD, I'm going to put out the information to everybody who may be in the DC area. I have a very close friend of mine who is a Bombanders fan and season ticket holder, and we need to attend that game. We need to go down there and attend that game.
I agree with that.
So I'll put the ticket prices and such out on the platform. And JT, I know you got to show up. You got to show up. It's in your backyard. So yeah, we're coming down there for the Bombanders game, and we're going to tailgate with these guys and the such. So I'm just putting that out there now. So yeah, the Giants took the shiny toy. I can't say that it's a bad pick in terms of need, but in terms of talent, they got one of the best players in the draft, and hopefully he can block too.
What?
That's what. Hopefully he can block, because that's what their biggest need was. But they took him and he'll wreak havoc and the such. But they won't score any points. So maybe they're trying to build a defense where they don't need to score as much. Who is their quarterback? Oh, is Russell Wilson their quarterback?
The Giants?
Who's the Giants quarterback?
I have no clue who the Giants quarterback is.
They made some moves.
No, they did pick up Russell Wilson, and they had Jameis Wilson. But
Jameis Winston. Yeah,
Winston,
they suck. They're gonna suck.
They have nobody to block for these guys, so they're gonna be scrambling. They're gonna be running, and his father is iced out. But I get it.
All right. All right. So Howie still hasn't made his move, and that's okay because we got plenty of time. This is I don't mind drafting so late, when it's because as a result of us winning the Super Bowl. So I can be very, very patient, and I can fill up the air as we wait for our pick. But I don't think that, like I said in the opening, I'm about 95% sure that there's going to be move made for us to go up. Now it's just a matter of who we're going up to get. Who is everybody that's in the chat room, answer this question for me. First of all, do you agree or do you think that Howie is going to make a trade up in this draft? Tell me that. Answer that question right now. Do you think Howie will make a trade in this draft? I'm going to put the question in the chat room.
I definitely do. I already do. For who? That's a great question, but right now I really think it's going to be an outstanding move, especially if it's Walter Nolan, the defensive tackle from Ole Miss. I mean, you just solidify that defensive line and make it more nasty than what it was before. We do need some pass rushers. James Pierce from Tennessee would be a great addition. Even Starks, the safety from Georgia. Listen, I know we're going to defense. It's just the question who. It's just the question who.
Yeah, we have how many starters did we lose? We lost Josh Sweat, Milton Williams.
Well, let's talk
CJ.
Let's talk about starters. We technically only lost really 3 starters. Those starters are Mekhi Becton, Slay, and CJ GJ.
Oh no, I'm talking about on defense.
Defense. CJ GJ, Slay, and Sweat was more like a rotational piece. So that we only really lost 2 starters.
Milt Williams wasn't a starter.
He was not a starter. The starting defensive line was
he wasn't a starter,
Jordan
and he got
Davis.
$26 million a year.
Hey man, you capitalize when you capitalize off of it. Listen, you capitalize off of it, and I'm not mad at him for doing that because he played outstanding for us, and he came on during the playoffs, and that's what he came on when we needed him to come on, right? And shout out to Jalen Carter and our defensive line coach for making these guys much better than what they were touted out. I remember when Milton came out in the draft, they said he has short arms. He's not going to be good in the NFL draft. Got to be crazy.
Who's that? Who they say?
The scouts, the pundits, the people on the show, they're talking about Milton Williams. The reason he didn't go high because he has short arms. Like, so
Great,
doesn't
great.
mean nothing in the trenches. Like, listen, so you don't have that 7-foot reach. You got a 6'7" reach.
For
Listen,
who they saying this about? I'm sorry.
about Milton Williams when he got drafted.
Oh yeah. All right, Milt Williams. Bill Kroll says yes. I think he will trade up because we have too many picks between this draft and next year, so we can make something happen. That's exactly my reasoning for thinking that he's going to do that. Also, Bill, is that he has the draft capital to use in going up and getting who he and the scouting staff are high on, who they want. So I think that, we look at these draft picks and we think about getting players most of the time. But no, these draft picks are great as leverage or to be used as currency, so to speak, as draft capital to go move around in this draft. And I think that Howie is well equipped to do that with the amount of draft picks that we have between this year's draft and next year's draft. In the first 3 to 4 rounds, we have a lot of draft picks in the first 4 rounds of this year's draft and next year's draft. Perfect opportunity to make some moves in this draft and go up and get some players. And think about it. I know it's great to have all these draft picks, but to be realistic, can you use all those picks on players? Is that feasible to be able to use 20 picks in the first 3 rounds? Like,
no, you can't.
Yeah, you can't use
many
all of them. Yeah, right. So, it makes sense to compile or to stockpile these draft picks and use them as currency. Tony Burns says, what do you think Howie would give up to move up? Who is a realistic trade partner and how many spots? Well,
that's a great question, actually.
Well, I think the first answer that you have to answer, who do you think they're targeting? Because that makes a big difference on who they would move up to. Now, I've been hearing the Starks, the 2 Georgia boys, both of them actually.
Yeah.
Starks or Williams, right? Williams rated a little higher than Starks. So
with the 4th overall pick, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU. Listen, this is the player the Giants should have selected there. So I want to say this, Dark Knight. Sometimes it's not just the player itself; it's the situation that the player goes to that actually encompasses how the player becomes a great or not. Like, you go into a situation that you don't have to be the man and you can learn from individuals, you get better. Prime example is look at Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith didn't have to become the man. He had Josh Sweat, he has Brandon Graham. When Brandon Graham went down, he elevated his play because now he had to take on that role, but he already sat behind Brandon Graham and some good defensive rushers to learn to elevate his game, and he became, he set the franchise record for sacks in the postseason for the Eagles. So I really think this is a great pick for New England because they need a offensive lineman because their offensive line is trash, just like the New York Giants offensive line is trash. But they're making the right moves, and the Giants is just being the Giants, man.
Yeah, that was a great move, especially in the current state that the Patriots are in, which is a rebuilding mode. They're in the rebuilding mode. I mean, they've been such a what's that called? It's my brain freeze right now, but such a juggernaut for so long, and now they have to retool and rebuild, and that's where you start. That's a foundational piece right there. The offensive line, defensive line are foundational pieces to your team. So that's a great pick for the New England Patriots. Tony says, so all right, getting back to his question. So, all right, so if they're targeting Williams or Starks from Georgia, Williams is rated a little higher. So to move up to get him, if that's who they really wanted, they would have to give up a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
If they want to jump that far ahead, they will have to give up a little bit more. But I've been hearing that Starks is garnering some interest from other teams as well. So I don't know. They have him as a late first round pick, but I don't know if this. I don't know if it was just talk from other teams or if it's real interest out there for Starks. And if so, that would make him that draft capital be require a little bit more to go up and get him too. But I think Howie's smart. Howie's going to wait. I mean, as patient as he was last year to wait for Quentin Mitchell, because we all love Quentin Mitchell, and we knew we needed a corner, and we loved him. And if it was me, I might have pulled the gun a little early and up to get him. And Howie was patient enough to wait, and he didn't have to waste any draft capital in getting him because he fell right into his lap. So there's a lot that goes into this draft, man, and I give Howie and his team a lot of credit on how they played it the last few years, and it's going to take much of the same strategy tonight. It's almost like playing poker, the draft, with the NFL. People bluffing here, putting out, rumors here about who they may be interested and kind of take you off the scent of who they really want. The poker faces of acting like they may want a player just to initiate a trade. And I hate this is another sport, but much like the Boston Celtics did with the Sixers that year when they took that dude number one, and Boston took Jason Tatum. They knew they were taking Jason Tatum the whole time. They fleeced the Sixers. They fleeced the Sixers. So
we took Ben Simmons instead of taking.
Actually, I wasn't. I mean, I was mad afterwards, but at the time, he was the right pick. We didn't know he was just going to be a bust like that, but he was the right pick. Man. But I forget.
You cutting these wounds back open, Dark Knight.
All right. Wrong sport. We're going to stay on football. All right. Bill Crow says that's what I am saying too. Too many picks. I think they want a D line, but an O line and tight end are there also. Yeah. Jack says he agrees. And B Dizzle. Quick shout out. Thank you, Kyle Turge, for selecting Devontae Smith. Thank you, Tennessee, for A.J. Brown. And thank you, Giants, for Saquon Barkley. Any other team want to trade with? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, shout out to Ben Dizzle for saying that because we did trade with Dallas to move up to get Devontae. We did. Tennessee is just idiots.
Right. Yeah.
And Saquon leaving the Giants, it was just made because I could see that happen with Duke Carter. In 4 years, I could see him saying, you know what? In 5 years, I could see him saying, you know what? You're not doing nothing for me. I need to go and fly. Like, let me get out of here. I could actually see them. I know as a first round draft pick, your 4 years is guaranteed, and you get a 5th-year option because he's in the first top 10, so you get high money. But at the same time, listen, man. Oh my goodness. With the 5th overall pick, the Cleveland Browns, who received a haul from Jacksonville, takes defensive tackle Mason Graham from Michigan. He plays just like Brandon Graham when Brandon Graham was at Michigan. That's how good this guy is. Yeah. He wore number 55. And if he wasn't light skinned like he is, I thought that was Brandon Graham family. Because his play is outstanding. That's a really good pick for the Browns, who keep adding pieces onto their defensive line with the stud that they have there already. This is a very interesting pick, though. I have to say at least.
Wow. All right. Well, that's not a bad pick. As long as our people just keep falling down, falling down the list of availability. Mm-hmm. I'll take either one. I talked to your brother earlier today, and he was talking about Williams, and he erroneously told me that he was 6'2", 6 feet, and like 255.
Williams,
yeah. The DN from Georgia, and I was like,
oh yeah, he's like 6 foot, like yeah, he was a little short.
Is he? Because I just looked up his vitals, and they said he was 6'5", 265. Who was they talking about?
So that's Shahad Campbell is 6'1", 235. Let me see. Javon Walker of Georgia, 6'1", 243. His official stats.
Now I'm talking about Mikael Williams from Georgia.
Mikael Williams. Defensive end?
Yeah.
Sure, just throw things out there, though. Just let you know.
But Mikael Williams is rated as a first round pick, though.
He is rated. He's a later round pick. He is 6'5", 260. He was. His frame is. He does have a good frame. You know what? That this spark. That's all right. I know who this is. All right, so he is a very good defensive end. I just remember who the heck he was.
All right.
He was a true freshman All-American. He set career highs in sack last season, 5.5 sacks, and 9 tackles for loss. He has an enormous frame for his size at 6'5". I thought you was talking about the other kid that's supposed to go in the top 10 for Georgia. He doesn't.
What's his name? What's his name?
Walker. That's the one I was talking about.
That might have been who he was talking about. Actually,
yeah, that's who he's talking about.
Might have been talking about Walker, and I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that size. I don't.
But I mean, for that, the potential that I see out of James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee is almost the same as Derek Brooks. I hate to throw Derek Brooks out there, but these two guys have that look to me. They have that look. So they were good, but were they super dominant? No, there are no true dominant guys that's available right now. That's going to be available for us. Abdul Carter was that dominant defensive end / linebacker. He's gone.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real super dominant guys. The only person I could say, and I hate to say this name, because he played with Ohio State, Jack Sawyer. You know, he was dominant. He did things on the field. His hustle, his ability to get around the corner, his ability to put pressure on the quarterback was something to marvel about here and there. Only reason I know that because I've seen us play him. So to me, there's no real, diamonds in the rough on this one's. As far as our defensive ends has to be concerned, they really like this kid from Texas A&M, Shamar Stewart. They say he's a freak. He's a monster. He's going to be going too.
Wow. Okay. Well, all right. So, who is your pick? I'm gonna ask everybody out there. Who is your pick? Who would you like to see the Eagles pick up today?
I'm gonna tell you that after this pick. Oh! With the 6th overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders pick Ashton Jeanty from Boise State, running back.
Who picked him?
The Raiders.
Okay.
The Raiders. Who I would like for us to select for us, the Philadelphia Eagles, I would like for us to select Walter Nolan, the defensive tackle from Ole Miss. He reminds me of Jalen Carter.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not
he's explosive. He is a strong 296 pounds. When I say he's strong, 296 pounds, he's able to throw tackles and guards out the way, just like Jalen Carter were able to do that. If he was able to play with a better defensive line, he would have better stats. But he is ranked as one of the better defensive linemen in the college football from last year. So he was a consistent All-American. And he has a very high run stop rate. So if you pair him with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Ojomo, we would have we tune the defensive line. I mean, just go back and look at it. We retooling the defensive line, and I think that's where we're going to go if he's available.
All right. So where is he projected to go?
In the teens I mean, he's a 32 overall rated player. I mean, that doesn't mean nothing in the grand scheme of things because
everybody has different needs and stuff.
Yes, like everybody has different needs. So the thing about it is that he is. It depends on what team needs a particular player. All right, the Giants. I'm keep going back to the Giants. The Giants needed players. They need players. They need to build from the offensive and defensive line. I was thinking they should win the offensive line because they got these quarterbacks that would solidify them, but they went defensive end, outside linebacker, Abdul Carter, when they needed something, inside to solidify the line. So it depends on what these teams in front of us really, really need. And I think the Jets are next on the clock. I don't think they don't need him. They don't need they need some playmakers. They need a quarterback. I know that for sure.
And I was listening to one of the analysts. I forget what channel or what station network I was looking at, but one of the analysts said that this draft is, I think, after the first 10 to 15, a lot of players around the same grade.
Mm-hmm.
So he said between like the 15th pick and maybe the third round, you have a lot of players that graded very, very similar. So with that being said, if that is truthful, then it's a crapshoot, on just who, what team or scouting department has who rated where and what their greatest needs are. So I don't think when they grade them like that, now it doesn't mean that you can get a good player between the middle of the first round to the third round. You're getting the same quality type player. We all know that once they start playing, they weed themselves out. Everybody, rises to the top. The bad ones fall to the bottom or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But at the talent level, everybody being equal, this can pan out any way, a multitude of ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we can still wind up with a quality player at 32, meaning, at 32, we can still get a quality player if they're all around the same grade.
Definitely. I really think we will get a quality player at 32, but I don't think we're staying at 32, Dark Knight.
Yeah,
I don't think we stay there because, like you said before, Howie doesn't stay. Either he's going to draft a player or he's going to draft out of the first round and get more picks. We did that the last time we won a Super Bowl, right? And end up getting Dallas Goedert in the second round. So I think that's a big thing that might happen. Also, I got to throw this player out there because if he's available, it's a no-brainer. If Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State,
I was just going to say that.
If he's available in the late teens, like I could see us trading up to get him.
All right, I was just about to ask that, and you just answered the question. I was about to say, if the Tyler Warren is available, how would you feel if the Eagles drafted him in the first round?
I mean, it's not a big need. Tight ends definitely not a big need. But if you're looking to make your offense more potent, like him and Dallas Goedert at your 1-2, and Crank Carter, I still can't say his name. They make a good Carcaterra. They make a good 1-2-3 punch at that tight end position, which solidifies everything that we need going in there. We need somebody that can block. We need a tight end that can go out in routes. We need a tight end that could be a fullback. Listen, Tyler does it all. Not only was he a good blocking tight end, he was a good receiving tight end. He remind me of George Kittle. Any Iowa tight end you can think of, that's who he remind me of. But wow. Better. That's how good he was. That's how good he is, I should say. And it would be a shocker if he falls out. I see we got somebody talking about TJ Sanders, defensive lineman from South Carolina. If he's available, I mean, he was a really good defensive lineman. If he's available, I could see us maybe taking him. I don't think we would take him in the first round. I'll be honest with you. He's not ready to go in the first round, but
a tight end though, you really think Howie would do that? A tight end?
Oh yeah, definitely.
In the first round,
if Warren is available, I definitely see that happening.
Wow,
there's no question. I definitely see that happening. Shout out to Christopher Burton, man. Enjoy that Drew Estates event, man.
Yeah, I saw that.
Happy early birthday.
But I don't know. I don't know this guy. I don't. but it's just our pattern, our history. I just don't see them valuing a tight end that high. And if they do, then he must be all that
And a
you
bag of
just
chips.
raved about him. Yeah, he must be all of that.
That's how he was
Because,
that good. Like legitly, he was the offense at Penn State.
we didn't even
Legitly.
draft our running backs in the first round. Like, when was the last time we drafted a first round running back?
It's been a very long time. I don't think. Shoot,
Yes.
that's a great trivia question. I have no clue.
Yes.
I'm about to
I
look
mean, we
that
got
up.
Miles Sanders, and Miles Sanders wasn't bad, and he was a second. Even Shady. Shady's a Hall of Famer. Shady was not.
You think Shady's a Hall of Famer? You think he's gonna make the Hall of Fame?
It's just, it may be close. It may be close, but yeah, Shady. I mean, Shady's definitely a decade player.
All right. So the New York Jets, with number 7 overall pick offensive lineman from Missouri, Ahmad Mbumbu.
All right.
Yeah. So they get an offensive lineman. They know what to do.
Yeah,
At least that New York team know what to do.
Uh-huh. We got a former first round running back.
We didn't draft him.
Yeah, we picked up a former first round draft pick. But yeah, even Shady was dynamic and highly rated, and we didn't pick him in the first round either.
No,
so I think that, we know that running backs are devalued as compared to the 90s and the such. I think last year they might have made a resurgence.
They definitely did.
With
Josh Jacobs,
yeah, Josh
Saquon,
Derrick
Henry.
Yeah.
You had stable running back, and you could see the teams that were desperate for a run game. They couldn't generate a run game because they didn't have the proper running back, because they thought the game was going somewhere different. Our defense was ready for that, because these teams don't value the running game like we do. Other teams don't value the run game like we do. We took full advantage of that, Dark Knight. Full advantage of that.
Yes, we did. And you know how this is a copycat league. So the trends were, passing league, which we still is a majority heavy passing league, because the NFL's product is high scoring, exciting football. So you get that through the aerial attack. But last year, with the running backs that we just mentioned having such prominent years, and teams with a dominant running game doing so well, such as ourselves, do you see the game maybe shifting to more run in the near future?
Yes. I see the game going back to its roots, right? The game is more or less was geared for the offense, a high flying offense. Now they're taking some of that out of the game, and these coordinators are realizing, if I can get pressure with my front line, there's no need for me to be worrying about what these receivers can do. Just like in the Super Bowl, right? We only pressured with our front four and was able to cover the back end with everybody else. What does that leave open? The running game.
Yep.
The run game. If you're able to generate a run, now you have to play full defense. And if you can't stop the run, you're not geared to stop the run. You create a whole different mess for that offensive, that defensive coordinator.
Okay. Oh, okay. I would love that, JT. That's going to be fire too. Talking about the everyday party that we're having. Yeah, so I see it the same way you do, and my only opposition is, this is a product. The NFL is a product.
Yes,
and they do like high scoring aerial attack type of play, and it's evidenced by some of the rules changes that have taken place since the 90s. That allows the wide receivers and the quarterbacks to have a little bit of advantage. You can barely touch wide receivers nowadays. You can't hit people like you did before and things of that nature. You dare not touch the quarterback the wrong way or you're in trouble. So With that in mind, I don't know if the league would allow it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if they want three what's that called? 3 downs in the cloud of dust or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
They
know
don't
if they
want,
want to go back to that.
but you know what? That brought in ratings. Like the best player last year. That I don't care what these other players voted. They voted Hail Mary as the best. Like Hail Mary happens every year. Like, come on. The
Yeah,
best play last year was a Saquon Barkley reverse hurdle. And
yeah,
before that, it was a Derrick Henry stiff arm. Like, come
yeah.
on, let's be honest. The running back is back. The running back is back. You look at the Dallas Cowboys, right? They
Yeah,
didn't have a run game. They became one dimensional. And they got tore out the frame. When
yes.
you have teams that were like the who was it, the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills really was a one-dimensional team. Cook did some good things, but their quarterback was their running back. It was their run game. Was their offense? Was their whole thing. Without
Yeah.
a legit run game, they were able to get beat in that championship game. Now, far as the Baltimore Ravens, they're discursed right now. I don't know what's going on with the
Yeah, I
Baltimore
don't know what's
Ravens.
on them.
They dropped that 2-point conversion pass. That was crazy last year.
Oh, that was
But
crazy,
but you
crazy.
saw in the Super Bowl the ability of having a dominant run game when we got the ball back in the third quarter after Avonte Maddox make a heck of a play on fourth down on a pass for by Patrick Mahomes when Jalen Hurts came back with the play action. That play action drew in all three linebackers and the safety.
Mm,
That means the corner was one-on-one with Devontae Smith.
yeah, that was a beautiful thing.
That's
I
the
think I'm
that's
gonna
the
watch the game
impact.
again.
You have to watch it.
I
That's the
watched it about
impact.
20 times
Yeah, I did too.
already.
But that's the impact of a legit run game. The whole focus for the whole Super Bowl was stop Saquon Barkley. He is their offense. No, he's not.
Yep.
No,
Yeah,
he's
we had
not.
because we were so multifaceted on offense that you had to pick your poison, man, and you choose the wrong poison,
Yep.
you got killed. You know what I mean? But that was the beauty of last year. And you know what? Let's talk about that a little bit, right?
Mhm.
I'm more worried about our offense for the upcoming season than I am our defense. And we've lost more players on defense than we have on offense. Why? Why, Dark Knight? Why are you worried about? We still have Saquon, we still have AJ, we still have Devontae.
With the 8th overall pick, we will continue this discussion in a second.
Uh-huh.
The Carolina Panthers select wide receiver from Arizona, Tarola McMillan,
All right.
or
Okay.
TT. That I think they call him a tat. He's a heck of a receiver, not a separation specialist. He's a tall receiver. I'll tell you that right now. He's about 6'4". But at the same time, he's not a guy that separates a lot. So that's one thing they had going against him. He's more like a possession wide receiver, but he's a very good wide receiver. He's the best one in this draft. And that's a good pick for the Carolina.
All right. What was I talking about?
Oh, you're talking about the offense.
I'm more concerned about the offense. And why you say that, Dark Knight? We still have Saquon, we still have AJ, we still have Devontae, and for the time being, we still have Goddard. But we have a new offensive coordinator that always makes me a little nervous, especially after our recent past of having an offensive coordinator that did not work out. It did not work out. And we've seen this talented offense go from night to day based on who the play caller was.
Yeah.
Just based on that. We saw this team be spectacular in 2023 when we went to the Super Bowl. Then in 2024, with the same personnel, looked horrible. Then changed the offensive coordinator, same personnel. Well, a slight improvement because we had Saquon, and it looked dominant again. So I don't know what this offensive coordinator is going to bring to the table. He's never been an offensive coordinator, and I'm nervous about that. I'll tell you that I'm nervous about that. I'm not as nervous about the defense because of the talent that we still have left And a great part of my confidence or my courage comes from Vic. Vic is still here.
Yeah,
So,
I do agree with that. But you know what? I really think Dark Knight. I think we're worrying about the wrong thing. In all actuality, I think our offense is going to be fine. It's going to be pretty much almost the same as that cost. This be the first time. Not all the coordinators are left. And he still has some fraction of the same offense he ran last year. Because in the past 9 years, he hasn't had the same offensive coordinator back to back years. So this will be a refresher. I mean, he only had it once, I think. This will be a good look because the last time you had an offensive coordinator stay there for 2 years, they went to the Super Bowl in 2022. So I think they're going to pretty much mirror what they did last year. They're going to open it up a little bit more to see the possibility with what they can do in the Super Bowl. But especially if you get Tyler Warren, that's just going to be a crazy offense. So we're not. Right now. I don't think we need to worry about the offense. I think we'll be okay on offense. I am more a little bit, even though we got Vic Fangio, I'm more worried about the defense than anything else because some key pieces are gone. I understand CJ GJ, he broke that heart, but he was one of the worst cover corner safeties in the NFL. Sidney Brown is a plant his foot in the ground and try to drive you through the world type of safety. I don't know how that's going to translate as if he's going to be the starting safety or not. Who's going to be that second that corner opposite of Q Mitchell? Because you don't want to put Cooper on the outside when he's one of the best nickel corners in the NFL. A nickel corner in the NFL is a starting corner.
Yeah, basically, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Sidney Brown, I love him. You're right. He will dig his foot in the ground and plant someone. I think because of his young age, he has to learn how to switch gears, so to speak, because he's like 100 miles an hour. The game has to slow down a little bit for him. Hopefully that happens this year. But I agree with what your assessment of CJ GJ. That's the point I was trying to make earlier when I said I'm not going to miss him talent-wise. I'm going to miss him more because of the intangibles, because he was not the greatest safety, but his energy and his attitude was very valuable to the team. But yeah, you're right. As a cover safety, he was not the greatest, and we can probably improve in that area depending on who we pick up. If we get Starks, we definitely will be improving in that area.
But we're also missing that one Dark Knight. Who's going to be opposite Zach Bond?
Yeah,
because Nakobe Dean is going to be still recovering from the injury. I know we want to put Trotter in that position to be opposite. Can he step up and be that opposite linebacker?
And what happened to? We lost the other Burks. Did we lose Burks?
Yeah, Burks is gone. He got a deal. I mean, listen, make the money when you can.
Yeah, I'm not mad about that. I mean, I'm mad because I'm selfish because it's my team, but as a person that is rooting for everyone to earn what they're worth, I can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at that.
All right. With the number 9 pick, the New Orleans Saints select offensive tackle from Texas, Kelvin Banks Jr. So you mean to tell me Shedeur Sanders is still on the board? There better not be another quarterback come off the board before he does, because that's crazy.
Well, that's crazy. You heard the talk. Some people don't like his confidence. I think it's asinine to list that as one of the deterrents. All right. We've seen young quarterbacks come in the league with just as much confidence and not been ridiculed as much. Right off the top of my head, Baker Mayfield, right? Like nobody was as cocky as he was. And
how about what's the name from Texas A&M? The Money Man. What's his name?
I know you're talking about. Oh yeah, Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, Johnny
Manziel. Nobody was as cocky as him, and he was a downright bust.
Yes,
So
he will.
don't please kill that.
I
Miss
lost
me with
$20
that narrative.
on him, man. I'm mad about that.
Yeah, miss me with that narrative of he's too cocky or whatever. Now you have something when you start talking about whether he has the abilities or the talent level that you're looking for.
Mhm.
That's a better case to make for me. But please miss me with that narrative about he's too cocky, he feels entitled and such. Come on, man. His dad is Deion Sanders. What do you think he's going to be? Who do you think? How do you think he's going to feel about himself? Deion Sanders felt that way about himself before he was Deion Sanders. That's why he is Deion Sanders. A lot of great players feel this way about themselves before you see their greatness. That's why they become the great players that they become, because they have that ultimate confidence in themselves. Their self-talk is always at the level of 100. They don't even think a negative thought about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what propels them to be the great players that they are.
Yes, sir. Deion said, Deion walked up to say, "You want to interview me? No, what pick you up? Nah, I'm not gonna be there. So why you want to talk to me?"
Yeah.
I mean, he was cocky enough to run a 40 and just leave. So that's all you need to see.
Yeah.
It's like you said, Dark Knight. It's a difference between cocky and confident. He's confident. He's very confident in his ability. I still believe he's the best quarterback coming out in this draft. For everybody saying Cam Ward is, I beg to differ. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Cam Ward at least had an offensive line. Shedeur Sanders never really had an offensive line. And he was always pretty much running for his life and making plays. He can throw every aspect of the field. He has a deep arm, a short arm, a strong arm, and he's been coached by some of the best quarterbacks ever. Tom Brady. This is mentioning a few, like some of the best quarterback coaches. And yet, you think his attitude is the reason why you don't want this kid on your football roster. That's crazy.
I didn't display this, but I'm ready for next year already. Super Bowl MVP jersey gifted to me for, what did I get this for anyway? Was it my anniversary or Valentine's Day? It was Valentine's Day, I think. I got this jersey gifted to me. My wife, love her to death, but I got a Jalen Hurts jersey, baby. I got 2 Kelly Green jerseys, and I don't have one yet that doesn't have the number 1 on it. Because my other one is AJ Brown, so I got 2 number 1s on that one, and then I got this one with the number 1.
I like that because my wife got me one too. babe. She got me a Saquon Barkley.
Saquon. That's Saquon Barkley.
I got Saquon Barkley.
But look, what I don't have is, and admittedly so, and I'm a little embarrassed. Anybody out there, this is a great time for me to ask this. I don't have any Super Bowl Eagles paraphernalia yet. And I out there, I know you guys have it. JT, what do you have? JT probably got like 5 Super Bowl jerseys. JT got money. JT got like 5 Super Bowl jerseys, 6 hats. Well, tell me, everybody that's in the chat room, please tell me what Super Bowl paraphernalia you have. I want the ring, though. You know what? I think I'm a spring for the 2 ring set, because I want the one from the first Super Bowl and this Super Bowl. Man, I'm feeling all good and mushy inside again, man. Look, we went 50 years with none, and in 8 years we have 2 rings.
That's a flex.
That's a flex, yo.
That's a
2 rings, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and 2 Super Bowl wins, man. And I am looking forward to doing it again. If this offense, if my fears are unfounded on the offensive side of the ball, I really look for us to be just as dominant as we were this past year, man. I really do. JT said I got that Carter and Smith Jr. Super Bowl jersey, JT?
Wow.
Or you just saying you just got it?
This is the 50th anniversary of Walter Payton's selection to the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears is next on the clock. And I believe this pick right here that they're going Tyler Warren. They're going to try to give their quarterback as much weapons as possible, when they should be going for offensive line help, just like the Giants.
Oh no, they need to go for offense. Yeah, they better get an offensive line. They got some receivers in Chicago, right?
They do, but
I'll
Roma
go-
Dunde, the kid they gave all the money to, number 3.
Yeah, he got Super Bowl jerseys. I'm sorry, JT got Super Bowl jerseys. I told you that boy got money. He got a Carter and Smith Super Bowl.
What?
Jerseys. What happened? What happened?
Are you serious?
What?
I'm sorry. So the stupid Chicago Bears, instead of yes, I'm calling them stupid. They chose to select Colson Loveland, tight end from Michigan, over selecting Tyler Warren.
Now,
the
where is
best
he on the
tight
big board? Is he the number 2 tight end? Is he number 3?
I mean, yes,
it's only
he is.
stupid if
He
he's like the 5th rated tight end.
I mean, in some boards they have him number 1, but
All right,
but
okay, that ain't
this
stupid.
one is an All-American, the other one is not. One is a first team All-American, the other one is not.
All right, Jack said he got the Victory Night locker room gear, hat, and T-shirt. Oh, that's hot too. Yeah, I gotta get some. I need to get something. I need a hat. That's what I'm gonna get a hat, and I gotta get a Super Bowl.
No,
it
you
has
got
to say Super Bowl champ. So I don't know if I want a hoodie or I think I gotta get a T-shirt and a hoodie because I gotta wear it. Gotta wear the T-shirt during the summer, and then I'm gonna need a hoodie in the wintertime. Yeah,
I really want to. I want the trophies. I want the 2 trophies.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm getting this basement redone. I want the 2 trophies in the man cave.
Oh, that's what's up.
I want 2 trophies down there. I want the whole area looking like that.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
You get it from AliExpress. I got it from Pakistan. I know where you got it from.
All right, long as you have it, man. Shoot, that's all that matters. Nobody's out there, shining a blue light on your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's striping it with the pen, the counterfeit pen, or nothing like that.
Listen, man, I got to take my shot now. We passed the time I was supposed to take another shot.
All right, so here we go.
4 of them.
Only doing 4. So here is this shot time again, quarter way through the draft. So you're watching Eagles Talk, the annual NFL draft show, and here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the world champion, Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots, in case this is your first time tuning in. So Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve. This is the shot that got us our Super Bowl ring. So, and I drank all of my darn Red Bull. So now I'm going to just... So I'm gonna be up till tomorrow, but anyway, I'm just gonna sip on this tea. Everybody out there, let me know what you're doing, and let's take a shot to our Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. So down the hatch, 3, 2, 1. Hold up, that is too loud. Pat, you killing me. Like,
I wonder
I'm
why.
ready to snatch off the headset.
That's the only thing that's loud, I think. Hold up.
I'm like, yo.
It's been
I'll do the applaud next time. I'm like, yo.
I'm just gonna do the sounder for the draft. How about that? Because it was low.
Yeah,
anyway.
just do that. Yeah. All right. So Bill Crow said, I need at least a hat and a shirt. I have been slipping, but I work and can't afford it. Yes. I haven't. I've been slipping too, man.
Hey JT, I need that website where you got that trophy from. And I hope it's not the one that it costs $400, $700.
No, I'm not getting that clone. I'm getting my trophy from Pakistan. I'm not getting that one. No, I want the I don't. You want the official side, the big size one.
I really do. I really want the big the official size.
The replica official size. That
but
would be
you know
hot.
what? It's it's kind of expensive out there, and I
Yeah.
don't know if I have a job next month. How about that?
All right.
Um,
Oh, so JT, I see. JT said nobody carries his size in the States. That's why.
JT, we got to go over to Mitchell Ness, man. They if you let me know your size, I contact them and see what they have.
Okay. Yeah, Bill agrees with me. That's loud. I told you that was loud. He said, yeah, that's
Sorry, Bill.
loud.
My bad.
Yeah, don't have your headset on and listen to Pat on us downboard. I was about to snatch my headsets
It's
off.
been
Like,
a while. It's been a while since we was able to calibrate the soundboard, and I haven't used this thing since we won a Super Bowl.
yeah, since we won the Super Bowl. Hey, how was everybody's celebration, man, for the Super Bowl? I know Pat he was all cushy up in the hotel along the parade route, looking at it from a balcony view. That was great. I should have came and joined you, and Michelle showed up too, right?
Yeah, she was down there. She was trying to get over it, but they couldn't cross the street, I believe. But she was close to us, and I was trying to get her. She's trying to find her son, I guess.
Okay.
But you know what? Dark Knight. It was cold again. You know, just like
Yeah.
the first time we won it.
Yeah.
It was a great view to see how joyous this town went. I mean, when I say the first time we had a ball, this time it was more fans to enjoy this victory.
Yeah.
It was like it was supposed to happen. We knew we was gonna win that game.
Yeah.
So I don't think you stressed it a little bit during the broadcast when we was about to start the game, and you know I got upset because somebody wanted to play Chiefs Kingdom.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. Oh my god.
Oh man, I was ready to snap.
That's why they got their asses whipped. He cursed his own team doing that.
But the energy where we were at in South Philly, for Millers in South Philly. Listen, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I gotta admit, it was dark night. I've been around craziness. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But it was something that we needed, and that game itself, that feeling of being a Super Bowl champ. I do feel how Hurts and AJ Brown feel like this to get there. That feeling to get there is what you go for, right? Once you win, it's like, all right, what we got to do? We got to do something else. Let's win it again.
Yeah.
The journey is what we need, that we love to see the plays for the season, see how the offense, the defense, how they come together and become that team. Because at 2-2, we was cursing everybody out, right?
Yeah. I mean, Sirianni was out of here after 2-2, but I echo your sentiment. Everything about last year was spectacular, and as the season progressed, I kept emphasizing to everyone to enjoy the journey, because the process is where the value is in the process. No matter what the process is, I don't care if it's your journey to your dream, but that journey, that process, it's what makes it all well worth it, because you transform into something else during that process. And at the end of it, you're the product of the process you went through. So their journey to get to the Super Bowl transformed them into winners. Yes. They're Super Bowl champs. So at the end of that journey, they were transformed into Super Bowl champions. They were transformed into winners. They now know what it takes to win. And it's
I know you was getting on your other channel just now. I felt that. I felt that energy. Listen, I tuned in once. I was like, "Oh, wait a minute." The Georgia, the San Francisco 49ers, with number 11 pick is going Howie's route. And they went down to Georgia and selected Mikal Williams, a 6'5", 260-pound defense end. Word number 13. He was a monster. He was with that Georgia team that won the championship. He was with Jalen Carter and Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis, and when they won the championship, he's with that team. I forgot we got Kelee Ringo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all right on that.
He's going to be starting. I forgot. Yeah. Kelee Ringo is like a legend down in Georgia. You know that?
Yeah, and he's ready too. So watch. I think we're going to be all right. We all right on on the starting. I would have loved for the corner that we left to take that spot because I was really high
Oh
on
yeah,
him.
Isaiah Rodgers.
Isaiah Rodgers.
I forgot we lost him. You know what? He went to Minnesota Vikings. He did get the bag, and I appreciate what he's done for us. Because Howie took a flyer on his kid. He was
Yeah.
just spending for a whole year. He couldn't get paid. He couldn't do nothing.
Yep.
And
So
he showed up and he balled out and he got himself a second contract. Good for him. Good for these players coming in and helping us. But we're just going to retool and redo it again. But I got to do this, Dark Knight.
right.
I have to do this. I'm going to turn it down as much as possible, but I do got to do this. The Kyle Turds are on
All right. So
and
thank
they're
you for the warning. And next time, everybody out there, when he gives you that warning, take your headsets off. Take your headsets off. So
Let's see
yeah. That was a special journey, man. And like I tried to stress to everybody to enjoy the season as we were mounting win after win after win, man. You have to bask in that. And I'm glad that I did because that was a very memorable year. It was a very memorable year. All right, what they take? Who they take?
probably watching no one. What? Okay. They're retooling on offensive line. They got a lot of people retiring and leaving. So the Dallas Cowboys with the 12th overall pick select guard from Alabama, Tyler Booker.
Okay, all right. So Jerry Jones is maybe not losing it all.
No,
he's
select
just cursed. They're just
select
cursed.
they select some good offensive linemen and some
Yeah.
good wide receivers. That's one thing I have to say they do select there at Dallas.
Mhm.
Besides that, they are trash.
Yeah.
They got lucky. They get lucky here and there with a defensive player. They got a Sean Lee at one time. They went and got my boy Micah Parsons, Derek Lawrence. I mean, they have some key players here and there, but they still suck.
They still suck.
Let me do this. I can make it lower. Here we go.
All right,
Yeah.
Bill Crow said I watched the Super Bowl with the same friend as last time, and this dude was still negative with 2 minutes left. He had toast. He had a toast that slept great.
Yo, you know the funny thing about this Dark Knight before you read another one? If you go back to YouTube and you just go and look at reactions, right? The different fans that react to these games on YouTube. We should do one. I'll be honest with you, we should do one. But the different fans reacting to the Eagles' domination. I watched this Chief guy. He was so cocky with it. So cocky. Like, we're going to win going away 34-21. They don't stand a chance. 3 feet. Chiefs Nation in the building. By halftime, he was like, well, we got to pull the Brady. Then you saw he never showed the game, right? Then you saw the score change on the bottom of the screen. Pass by Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith. Oh, he caught it. Touchdown, 34-0. Well, we know what we need going in next year. It's hilarious to see
34-0. At 34-0 at one point. It seems like a crime that their rookie wide receiver set a rookie record for receiving in a meaningless game. It's almost a slap in the face that that he amassed as many yards as he did because it was so meaningless.
It was,
and the game was way out of. I think he was catching those on replacement. I mean, backup players, wasn't he? At some point, he was catching that against backup.
His last touchdown was with. His last touchdown he caught, we already threw the Gatorade on the coach.
Yeah. I
was gonna put things in perspective for you, all right? When he caught the first deep pass, is after Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts hooked up. It was 34-0. So when he caught the first deep pass, right, we were pretty much throttling down.
Right.
Then he caught a touchdown, coming back to the ball, which is a good play. I give that to him. He caught another deep pass. No, Hopkins caught a touchdown, and that's when we took our starters out because when they got this 2-point conversion and they kicked the onside. After we recovered the ball, we put Kenny Pickett in the game. We threw the Gatorade on the coach, and you know what? I think they should have. They threw on a 4th down when they should have punted. And I think if we were punting and put them in a bad position, the game would have ended at 40-14. It should have been 40-6. The real score is 40-6. I'll be honest. The real score of that Super Bowl was 40-6. That's the real score. That's the score we recognize. Other stuff is just padding the stacks. Just like we talk about Dak Prescott. He's always down, right? And that's why he has these 400 and 500-yard passing games because he's padding the stats to come back. That's the same thing with Patrick Mahomes and the wide receiver. Like I give all kudos to him because he's the fastest guy in the NFL. Him and Tyreek Hill are the fastest people in the NFL, period, hands down.
Right.
But we balled him up for 3 quarters.
Yeah, we did. It was such a beautiful win, man. I mean, when's the last time we saw a team dominating the Super Bowl like that, right? We haven't seen
Tampa Bay did it.
When they played who? Not with Tom Brady, was it?
Yeah,
Was it
when Tom Brady played, when they played, I think they played the Chiefs. Yeah, they did play the Chiefs. They dominated. Yeah, they dominated the defense. It wasn't the offense. The defense dominated the Chiefs.
Oh, okay. All
the
right.
thing is, and like I said before, it's the pressure. The pressure bust pipes. Pressure can either bust pipes or it can make diamonds. And in that sense, when it comes to Pat Mahomes, when he's under pressure, he's not as effective. When he's getting sacked, when he's getting hit, that does something to a quarterback, no matter who they are, right?
Yeah.
When you allow a quarterback to sit back there and pick you apart, and I say this, we can't have this because you make the worst quarterback in the league look like a Tom Brady. When you're getting after this quarterback all the time, they're making mistakes. He had 3 turnovers.
Yeah. That was un-Patrick. That was un-Mahomes like actually, but it wasn't. It was us. We did that. We forced them in that. You know what I mean? It wasn't poor play that day. We dictated his poor play. You know what I mean? We dictated his poor play that day. And that was the beauty of it, is to see one of the, surely a Hall of Famer, but we had reduced him to, I can't even call him Baker Mayfield because Baker Mayfield's starting to play now, but we have reduced him to a Daniel Jones. Actually, we reduced him to a Daniel Jones on Super Bowl
that was
Sunday.
That was bad. That Dark Knight was bad.
But that's what he looked like. If you didn't know, if we covered your eyes and looked at it or covered his jersey, you would have said, "Who the hell is that guy?" 3 interceptions. I mean, 3 turnovers. Bad interceptions too. Bad interceptions.
All right,
So
Tennessee. I mean, the Colts right here is coming up next. Yeah, they were terrible interception. Like the first one to Coop. He read that. He sank back into that zone and he read the eyes of the quarterback. And I knew Mahomes did not see him at all. And even I don't know where he was going because his receiver was covered. Even if Cooper didn't pick it, it would have been broken up.
But again, the way that the defensive line played, you couldn't win. No team would have won that day with the way our defensive line was getting at the quarterback. When you have a pass rush that can put that much pressure on with just the 4 down linemen, who the hell are you throwing the ball to with 7 people in coverage? You have 7. What? How many linemen you have? 5, 6, 7. So, you got 5, 6 people.
My bad.
All right.
I was trying to do something. I was like, nope, that was wrong.
You got 6 people, the quarterback and the 5 offensive linemen. So you got 5 people in coverage, and we got 7 people covering 5 people. And it's not even 5 all the time. They didn't have 5 people in the in the route.
Kenneth Grant, the other defensive tackle for Michigan, is off the board to the Miami Dolphins at pick 13.
So pick 13,
Kenneth
Miami, Grant,
Yeah,
and he goes to Miami. We are still waiting for Howie to make his move. Starks is still. How do you pronounce Starks' first name?
Was it
Mackay?
Mackay? I think it's called Mackay
Mackay?
Stark. Yeah.
Okay, so he's still on the board. A lot of people have us tied to him. We could use a safety of his caliber in that secondary, a secondary that is already had one of the top units in the league.
Yeah.
Especially our cornerbacks. Now we add a first round talent such as Starks to that secondary, and it further solidifies Vic Fangio's defense there. And although we say that the league had a big year rushing, it's still a passing league. So you still have to be stout in that back end. And we are stout with our corners, and we were formidable at the safety position, but CJ left, and if we can possibly replace him with Starks, that'll be a great move. I'm all for that, but I trust in Howie. I got the utmost confidence in Howie. And one of the things, when I said Howie has grown in the 8 years and that he has not hit on every pick, what I think that he has learned is to allow his football people to make the football decisions, especially when it comes to personnel. And it doesn't seem like he's sticking his nose in there at all, or taking chances on talent, but he's allowing his staff, his scouts, to advise him as to who the better players are and how he is just selecting those better players. And one of the formulas that I think that I recognize is he's been selecting the best players from the best team. What a formula. I think I would have adopted that a long time ago. but he's finally choosing the best players from the best teams. And I think that's a formula that anybody can win with. But Georgia at the time that we plucked a lot of those players were the top team in the nation, one of the top teams in the nation, and we have a lot of their players. Alabama was one of the top teams. We have a few of those players. So, plucking top talent from the top teams seems to be a
With the 14th overall pick, I knew he's going there. The Indianapolis coach select tight end Tyler Warren from Penn State University. I knew he was going there.
I knew he was going there. Well, he stays in the blue and white, so.
Yeah. But I knew he was going there because they needed a tight end. I mean, they have a capable quarterback. Well, I don't know about if he's. They have some pieces, and he's the best tight end off the board. I don't know why Loveland went before him, but sometimes it's always the situations you go to that makes the player, especially in the league. Wow.
Well, he's off the board. Is Shedeur that bad? Answer that. Somebody in the chat room said, "Is
absolutely
Shedeur
not.
that bad?"
Absolutely,
he's horrible.
Absolutely not.
Shedeur is going.
Shedeur is not that bad.
He's horrible.
He's not horrible. These teams, they passing on.
Shedeur is horrible.
He's not going.
Hold on. I got to pull up my draft tracker. So tell me, what team could use Shedeur that didn't pick him?
Well, the next closest team will be the Seattle Seahawks at pick 18, and we were only at pick 15. After that, probably Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh might trade up. They're in need of a quarterback, and I mean he fits the mold of what they need up there because they've been just swinging and a miss when it comes to quarterbacks up there. They have DK Metcalf and George Pickens. They need somebody to give them the ball. So Shedeur would fit Pittsburgh. So I think that might be the perfect ideal fit for Shedeur Sanders.
Okay, so who do they have right now? Pittsburgh as their quarterback.
I have no clue.
Yeah, because both of their quarterbacks left.
Yeah, they both went to some other teams. One went to the Jets, the other one went to the Giants.
Yeah, yep. They
They're
both
both
went
New
to New
York.
York. Yeah.
Then you have Minnesota. Minnesota is dire need of quarterback. Well, rookie quarterback to come in there.
No, I thought they had a young boy.
Who?
Don't they have a young Minnesota? Don't they have a young
I'll look
young
it up right
boy?
now.
Look it up.
Vikings.
I think they had a young boy. I'm not sure, but and I think he's going to take over the helm.
Oh yeah, from Michigan.
Yeah, he was. I think
No,
Darnold was
no.
he was a bridge quarterback.
He went. He's he's not a passing quarterback. Like
He's not.
you in a league of you in a.
Didn't they take him like? Was he a top pick of theirs? I think he was drafted to be the
JJ
quarterback.
McCarthy. That's
McCarthy,
what it was.
yeah, he was drafted to be the future. So yeah, his time is now.
He tore his ACL in the preseason game moving
Last year, right?
Yeah, they're gonna realize he's not the quarterback for them very quickly. And again, it's I say this to say one thing. It always depends on the situation that you go to, right? The perfect situation lines up for you, just like when we picked up Jalen Hurts in the second round. He came into the perfect situation where we didn't have to put him at the starting quarterback. We wanted him to come here and learn and be a backup and be a just in case quarterback, because I guess we saw in the future with what's going to happen with Wentz. And he has been nothing short of remarkable since he's been our quarterback. There have been some ups, there's been some downs, and we also, like to ridicule him because he's not a passer of the football. He's a winner.
Yep, and that's all that matters.
Shedeur Sanders, Deion and his kids came over to Colorado, who was basically didn't win a game the previous season. They won 4 games. Well, it was 4 games or 5 games. The next year they went to a bowl game. Like it wasn't just coincidence that happened when these guys come there to Colorado. It's the quarterback. It's the second overall pick in Travis Hunter. It's the mentality that he brings there. Act as if you're the baddest mother effer on the planet. I mean, even though we know you're not, but if you act as if, you never know what can happen.
Oh, that sounds like another one of my sessions. Let me write that down. Act as if. Okay, all right.
Oh, Dark Knight, I got plenty. I got plenty. I'll be watching him like, all right, I got plenty.
All right. So Shedeur is still on the board. This is somewhat surprising with some of the mock drafts, at least the early mock drafts. He has fallen down the draft board as of late after the interviews and the reports coming out of his visits and his interviews. You know how the media is, man. They scrutinize. They don't like the arrogance sometimes. Well, depending on the player, they get selective on who they accept arrogance from. And I don't want to paint any pictures here, but they get a little selective on who they want to accept arrogance from. They accept it from some players, but they don't accept them from others. And the narrative now, they're trying to say that he doesn't have the skill set to be he's not graded very high. That's what they're saying now. But it was at one point that he was like the second, third rated passer in the draft.
So Dark Knight, I gotta say this: he is going to the Steelers.
Okay.
You wanna know why?
Why?
The Steelers quarterbacks right now is Skylar Thompson and Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They're in the NFL, so they are better than I am. They are better than us as fans watching this game.
Not me. They not better than me. Them bums, they bums.
Well, Mason Rudolph at Oklahoma State was
yeah. Well,
good. All right.
He was at Pittsburgh. Then they get rid of him. They just brought him back, right? They just brought him back.
Yeah.
So
They just bring him back. But Skylar Thompson, I don't know. I think he played in UFL if I'm not mistaken. But they need a starting quarterback. And
hold up, wait a minute. What's this? Christopher Burton said him and Richard Layton had a blast at the Super Bowl party. Where was this Super Bowl party? You guys live in the same area?
I think it was South Carolina.
Oh yeah, y'all was at the same Super Bowl party, Chris. Elaborate on this Super Bowl party that you and Richard Layton. I didn't even know that you guys knew each other. Yeah, tell me something about that. I need to type it in the chat. I wanted to hear more about this party that you guys were at, and which you didn't invite us to. Yeah, tell us about. I want to hear about this. So yeah, Shedeur, I don't understand. Like, you're right. Pittsburgh can use a quarterback.
Yeah,
seemed like it would be a good fit, right? There was another quarterback that was one of the top 3 quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, Jason Dart. Like no.
Yeah, Dart. Yeah.
No. Jason Dart going to end up going to the Giants. The Giants going to pick him second overall in the second round. And they're going to think he's the next coming of
Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Well, the last time they thought they had the second coming of Eli was Daniel Jones.
They bench Eli. They messed his streak up because they said the future is now, and it wasn't.
No, it was not.
There are some.
I'm not down on Daniel Jones, man, because like you said, and I think that was very key. What you said is it's very imperative that you come into the right situation.
Correct.
And it's not more important than the most important position that applies to me is quarterback. Right? You have to have the right situation. I think some quarterbacks' whole careers are ruined when they get drafted by the wrong team, the wrong system, the wrong coaches. I think that it could kill your whole career. And I don't blame what was that? Eli and it was another quarterback in my lifetime who refused to go to a team.
Oh, that was Eli.
Eli, yeah, it was one. Eli was one, but there was another quarterback.
He switched with Rivers,
Philip Rivers, yeah. But there was another quarterback that refused to be drafted. Also, he said he wasn't going to that team, and they traded him somewhere else.
Was that John Elway?
Yeah, it might have been Elway.
Oh,
yeah.
I got it. Hold on. So with the number 16 overall pick. Number 15 overall pick. Who picked that pick? I missed something. Oh yeah, the Arizona Cardinals. No, the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm a little bit behind. The Atlanta Falcons picked Javon Walker, the Georgia linebacker, the one we talked about was 6'1", from Georgia. He's going to be he's staying home. He's staying in Atlanta.
Okay.
So he's. You know what they say about people staying home. They get distracted.
Okay, so Richard and Chris just met, and they're both in Greenville, South Carolina. Okay. Yeah, it was in the same city. Okay, we definitely have to get you guys down here this coming season. Yeah, Greensville. We got to travel, man. I think that we used to travel the first 2 years.
We did.
You know what I mean? We had a lot of remotes. We did a lot of shows from the tailgate. I don't know if the cell signal should be a lot better now. I mean, than it was. We had to stop because of the cell signal. Because
you can't get no signal down there in the lots no more.
Oh, dang! See, and that's why we stopped because of the cell. Our show runs from streaming, so we need a very reliable internet connection. And we were doing it off of our cell phones. And when you have those many thousands of people all pinging off the same cell tower, it kind of slows you down. Now, I'm thinking because technology, we were 2Gs behind back then. I think we was like 3G back then. But now we're 5G. I'm thinking that it should be faster, but it's still the fact or the matter that there's thousands of people picking up the same.
Oh, they got a new thing now, Dark Knight. I gotta send it to you.
What?
About your own Wi-Fi.
They had that back then with the clear and all that.
No, this is whole different. It's for podcasts. I'll send it to you. We're not
Okay.
gonna talk about it right now. I'll send it to you.
All right. So, being selected to the wrong team, the wrong system, the wrong coaching staff could really ruin a quarterback's career. So I don't blame the Eli Mannings, the John Elways, the refuse to go to certain teams or certain situations, because it could kill you, man. You go if you go to an offense where the coordinator has a fixed mindset, where they are not open to reshape their offensive philosophy to fit your playing style, and are just stuck on sticking a square peg into a round hole, that can ruin you. It can ruin you. You know what I mean? The offensive coordinators now who get a quarterback and does research on their quarterback skill set and then design an offensive scheme around what their quarterback does best are the ones who have the most success, and those quarterbacks stand a better chance at succeeding in the league. But you get those that bring a quarterback in and say he's going to learn how to do this, and then they don't learn or they can't adapt, and it kills their career.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. 100%. Now, Arizona Cardinals are next on the clock with our former defensive coordinator, and I hope they pick a bum.
Yeah, I do too.
They need a wide receiver, so they're probably going to pick Luther Burton III from Missouri. He's a second-rated wide receiver off the board, or Matthew Golden. He's a speedster from Texas. Even though his speed,
what's their offensive line? Are they well?
Well, they need offensive line help. Their biggest need is offensive line.
Yeah,
but I can see them with the two best or the three best offensive linemen going already. I can see them just going to the best available, and that will be a wide receiver in their eyes. Let's see. Unless they go Josh Simmons, Ohio State offensive tackle. I don't think they're going cornerback.
Well, we're in that territory now, right, where a lot of the talent is graded around the same.
Yes, we are. There are some ones that it's shocking that they still have, like Shedeur. Again, Shedeur should not be in this bunch, but he is. So I mean, there are some guys. There are some guys. There are some big time guys that's still available. You mother brother.
What?
That's why I hate this dude. This is
Starks.
They took Arthur Nolan off the defensive tackle from Ole Miss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he should have been a Philadelphia Eagle.
What's his name? Who is it?
Walter Nolan, the defensive tackle from Ole Miss.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, Tony said picking number 32 sure makes a boring draft night.
This is the second time.
What time is it out there, Tony? Tony sacrifices a lot. And what do you do? Is it daytime? It might be daytime, so you might not be sacrificing this time. What time is it?
Whew.
Hold on, I can tell you. Let me see. I think I got a world clock.
That Mean Street, man. He would fit perfect with us with the Eagles. He would fit perfect with the Eagles.
Oh, it's 12 noon. Yeah, it's about 12 noon. All right, so you're not up late. All right, you're good. My son is over there. You guys know he's over there in Italy. He's in Italy right now. He'll be back May the 8th. He did a semester abroad, so he was there for the whole spring semester. He's been more places in the world in this last 4 months than me.
Wow.
He went over, he's a part of this honors program, so they take him abroad during the winter break, and then he applied to study abroad for the spring semester. So he left around January, went to Berlin, left Berlin, went to Florence, Italy, and since being in Florence, Italy, he and his friends, since they're in Europe and they have these neighboring countries so close by, they've planned weekend trips throughout the semester, and they've gone to France, Spain, where else? France, Spain, Czechoslovakia.
Oh wow.
Where's the other one? Oh, Amsterdam. So he's been all over the place.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah. We were not, good for him, not good for us. Our pockets, man. Good grief.
My pocket. Hey, Dad, send me your credit card numbers. I need it again.
I will give them credit. They do look for the cheapest, Airbnbs and all that. Take the train.
No hostels. They're not staying in hostels, are they?
Yeah, they had. They had
my
stayed at a
goodness.
hostel one time. They did do a hostel one.
And they said they're gonna do it again, right?
You know what? He didn't complain about it. So, but yeah, one of those stays were a hostel. I remember that. But they're kids, man. They, just out there making it happen.
Yeah, that's how that movie Hostel was. Let them stay safe, all right. Don't let us pull a what's the guy Taken.
Yeah. Don't pull a Taken.
You don't know me. I got a skill set.
Yeah, I'll be out there in a minute.
There are some guys that's still available. Again, the number 2 overall defensive end, Mike Green. I didn't talk about him. He's from Marshall. He's 6'3", 251. Jaden Pierce, who I talked about earlier, 6'5", 245, available. Shamar Stewart, who they call a freak, is 6'5", 267. He's still available. There are some guys that if we need edge rushers, there are available. Like he.
So what's a win? What's a win? You guys still on the line? What would you consider? Yeah, I know Starks is still available. Yeah,
he's available. Starks available.
So what would you guys consider a win tonight? Like, what would make you guys go to bed happy if you saw our Eagles select? What player or what position? Tell me what position.
I'm telling you right now, if we can get even James Pierce or Shamar Stewart, I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
What's up, Reef? What's up, Reef?
What up, Reef?
We got two. We got a couple Reefs. We got Reef, and then we got Ty Reef.
Yeah, we got Reef. We got Reef and Reef. I call them Reef. They know who they are. Reef can't. Reef Henry, the one that gave me a concussion, he can't drink with me. No,
which Reef was that?
Tyrese
with us.
Tyrese.
Yeah, okay, Tyrese.
Reef. But no, actually, they both was there.
What?
Yeah.
Both Reefs. I only met one of them then.
I said Sharif. Sharif was in the back with my Masonic brothers in the back corner. Tyrese was at the bar, so they both was there.
Oh yeah, Tyrese. Now, which one was this? In Springfield or South Philly?
Springfield.
All right, Springfield. All right, yeah. I remember Reef at the bar. I remember that Reef.
Yeah, that Reef couldn't drink no more. He said, "No more shots."
Oh, Reef, you were. When I was drinking Reef, you would have really couldn't have. Oh my
nah, he couldn't.
He couldn't have hung with it. Oh, you know what?
Man, Dark Knight. I gotta show you this real quick before you go quickly. This is what I got from Cabo.
What is it?
It's
tequila?
Tequila.
Oh yeah, it looks like. Hold up, let me see.
This is a handcrafted bottle.
Dad, what brand is that?
This is La Crofada tequila.
Oh, okay.
It's a Raspberry.
Looks like Casa Azul. That's what I said.
No, it's better. It's better than Casa Azul. I can tell you that right now. No additives. This thing is, and it's a pretty bottle. It's handmade.
Oh wow.
It's handmade.
What was I about to? I was about to say something.
Oh, sorry about that. About your drinking days.
Oh no, I was just about to reminisce about our studio days.
Oh man, I miss the studio.
Oh, I miss the studio.
You know, I see that studio every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, man, that's used to be our studio.
Oh my goodness. It's he left. He had two studios in that same building. So since we've been going, he doesn't have the one that we used to be in. He's up on the third floor.
Okay.
A little smaller space because that studio space we had was huge.
It
And
was.
now it's rented out to like a distributor. It doesn't look anything like it did when we
Really?
were in there. Yeah.
So that must have been why. So I would say it's probably old stuff then, old video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Hold on,
that was such a good time. Oh my
it was a great
goodness.
time. It was a great time.
And
you
if
know
we
what?
had access to that, it's what we could do with that. Like I would host football games on Sunday if we had that space
Oh
there.
man, we should. Oh, let me. The number 17th overall pick, the Cincinnati Bengals, select Shamar Stewart, edge, Texas A&M. He has a green suit on. Ladies and gentlemen, he has a green suit on.
All right. Well, he's
He
gonna
was
get
meant to be an
traded.
Eagle. He has a green suit on.
Was it Kelly Green or Midnight Green?
It's midnight green.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
It's not Kelly.
Well, sorry.
Well,
All right. So come on. You guys didn't tell me what player or what position would you be happy with if the
wait
Eagles
a
walked?
minute. Wait a minute, Dark Knight. Wait a minute.
He said, Pat, y'all couldn't hang with me back in the day. And back in the day, you couldn't hang with us.
No.
I mean, maybe you could hang with Shell, but you couldn't hang with me and Pat. Like, you know.
Well, I didn't.
And
I'll be honest. I didn't. When I was really playing, I didn't drink. I didn't drink at all. So you got me on that one. But when I was really drinking, nah, brief nah.
I'm not talking about playing days. I'm talking about early Eagle talk days.
Oh no, he couldn't hang with us then.
Are you kidding me?
5 shots before the game, 5 shots after the game, and a couple beers in between, a couple cigars.
Oh my gosh, we was.
We did some dangerous stuff.
Oh my goodness, man! Look, for us to be, and that's what made the show so fun because you imagine trying to give you guys commentary, and we've got 5 shots before the game, during the game. We were drinking. Then after the game, we're doing shots again. Oh, it was a great time, man. When we were at the tailgates, we were with, and we would do the show, before the game, after the game. But during the game, we would sit in the parking lot. This is when you could still tailgate during the game. So we would, I would say we'd have at least 50 people at the tailgate. Right, every tailgate.
It was.
I mean, two big 65-inch TVs in the parking lot. Multiple grills going on. It was just a mass party, and everybody just enjoying themselves partying.
You want to know something, Dark Knight? That TV that I had, that 40-inch screen TV, was from our first season.
Wow, that's incredible. We've had some, and not this year though, but next year we'll be coming up on our 10th year. We have to do something big for that. So stay tuned to that. But before that, we have another Super Bowl to win. So we'll be entering our 9th year.
Wow!
At the beginning of this season here, this preseason will be our 9th year on the air. And for the 10th, we've got to have some type of celebration where you guys are going to have to come up back in the day.
Puff and cheap. They were doing that too. We weren't doing it. We smoking our cigars.
Yeah, no.
I think we got on air. We smoked the cigars after that win against the Giants when Jake Elliott kicked that 61-yarder.
Yeah, that was memorable. Jake Elliott kicked the 61-yarder. And that kind of kick-started that run of that year to that Super Bowl. 9th year, 2 Super Bowls. I think that our program is the lucky charm of the Eagles.
It is.
We started when Doug Peterson started the same year, and then that second year, Doug Peterson's second year, we won the first Super Bowl. We were there, and that was and it's something else. Like, I know everybody can remember that their fondest memory of that year. They probably will never forget how that year went for them. But for us, it was so special because we were only in our second year of doing this show, and we were following our Eagles in a manner that we have never done before. We were all just fans like you guys sitting around on Sunday with our favorite beverage or a group of people or not and watching the season. But here we are now, podcast hosts, and we're doing at least 5 games we did from the tailgate. I remember one time visiting Charlotte, North Carolina, and going to an Eagles Nest bar in North Carolina, and approaching the owner and telling him that I'm a part of a podcast. Would you allow me to broadcast there live? And I did a remote from North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. Met some great people down there. We did a remote from Baltimore. Remember, we did the remote from Baltimore.
That was great. That was great.
That was great.
Hold on 1 second. I kind of foresaw this pick coming. I don't know why. I literally like I picked the player. The Seattle Seahawks. It was the 18th overall pick of select Gary Zobo from North Dakota State. He's an offensive interior lineman. He's going to play a guard with the Seahawks. They need an offensive lineman, and I have no clue how I just picked that player, but I literally tapped on him on my screen here, and
Wow.
right on the TV. He's the player. Like, okay, let me do some more magic over here. But yeah, that's how he was in Baltimore, because that was the Eagles bar.
Yeah, it was an Eagles bar.
We were like
Baltimore.
less than a mile away from the Ravens Stadium, and the Ravens had a game in the afternoon, right?
Yep.
They had a game in the afternoon, and when we left the bar, when the game was over and done with, the bar was closed.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. We
crazy.
did. Where else did we come from that year? I forget. We came from a few places that year.
Millers. That's the first time we went to Millers.
Millers, yeah, we did Millers.
We went to with the Nobles.
Yeah, we were
with
the Nobles. Yeah, we were down there with the Nobles.
We was definitely at the parking lot a lot though.
Yeah, we were at the
home
parking
game.
lot.
And we had it was cold.
Yeah, that first playoff game against Atlanta was cold as hell. That's when I was like, yeah, we ain't doing this no more. That was like,
I thought the heater was going to work. The heater I said, no, that ain't working.
No, that didn't work. We needed that. We needed that rocket, the rocket engine, Jewel. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the rocket engine. That's what we needed. But yeah, it was a great time. That was a memorable year. Even the Super Bowl was memorable because we were supposed to be at one place. We got there, it was raining inside the place. Water just coming out of the ceiling. And we couldn't stay. We were like, yo, we can't. We had to, at the last minute, get all the equipment, gather it up, and move it to the well before the Super Bowl came on.
Before it got packed in there.
Yeah, before it got packed. So we will never forget that first Super Bowl ever.
Yeah, I will never forget that.
Oh yeah, JT, remember taking shots? I had periods where I would go 30 days and I would have guests come on and take shots and play in my place. And JT was one of them. Christopher was one of them, and he was so drunk. Yeah, just like he just mentioned right here. Christopher was one of them. He said, "Bro, they had me so drunk taking shots and trying to talk football." Yes. That was it's got to be on one of these platforms somewhere. But you have got to see Christopher when he took his shot. Christopher was done. When I tell you he was done, he was done.
Yeah, he was
done.
He was beyond. He was beyond trash. He was like, I said, what you say? I said, yo, he said, yo, Pat. And like Chris, I love Chris to death because the Southern accent, like we got family members, so we kind of understand it, right. But that Southern accent came out. You sound like the kid Leggett. What's his name that went to Carolina from last year?
Oh yeah, that guy. I forget his name.
Yo, Chris, you sound just like him. I said, what did you say?
Yeah, Chris was done. Don't try this at home. People think it's easy, it's fun, but it is actually, you try to do the shots that we were doing and still talk cohesively about the Philadelphia Eagles, and you find out, as Chris did that night, that it's not as easy as said. I mean, not as easily done as it's said. We also found our current co-host, Nichelle, through that same process. Yes, there was another year where we did guest shot takers, and I did a ladies' day. So I had I had Nichelle, and I forget the other young lady. She used to be a follower of the show too. I had both of them on, and I remember Nichelle when I asked her. She approached me in the chat room, and I asked her. She said, "Well, will I be able to talk about the team?" I said, "Yeah, you take the shot. You'll be able to give your analysis." And you see how great she was. We couldn't let her leave after that appearance on the show. I quickly approached her and said, "Look, that would you like to be on the show?
And she's awesome.
She's awesome, and you don't find a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some excellent NFL analysts on the networks right now that are proving that women are more than capable of doing this. But somebody, just a fan, was a miracle, and it was a pleasure discovering Nichelle, and she's been a part of this program ever since.
Yep, we come on number 19th pick. When he gets number 20, I'm going to take a shot. Tampa Bay is now on the clock. Their pick is in. They're going with the commercial. So we're about that time where Howie starts taking, these phone calls are going through because there are players that he might want right now that are getting close to being picked. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're looking for a linebacker.
Oh, okay.
They're looking for a linebacker. I'm pretty sure we're not looking for a linebacker, so I think we're okay in this aspect. But I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to try to make this prediction. They're going to go get Jahad Campbell from Alabama, the linebacker, the inside linebacker at 6'3", 235. I'm pretty sure they're going to get that kid. That's a definite. Oh my goodness, Will Johnson's available? Hey.
Who?
Cornerback from Michigan, Will Johnson, was actually the best cornerback in a college football. He did get injured, but before he got injured, he was the best cornerback in the national college football. Now, Maxwell Harrison also is available if we want to go get another cornerback. But listen, I really think that if some of these defensive linemen are that we looked at before are available as far as edge, James Pierce, Mikael Williams already been selected. I saw a kid from Boston College, Donovan Irukai. He may be available. And with the 19th,
Mika.
They went wide receiver.
They went wide receiver in Tampa.
Mika Mbouye and Gaye and God. Oh, I wish he was still right now. Oh, yeah, tracker up. All right, yeah. Wide receiver from Iowa State. He was actually their best.
So Pittsburgh is getting Shedeur. They are, because Denver is not going to. They got Bo Nix. So Pittsburgh is going to get Shedeur. It'll be a surprise that if they don't. That'll be a surprise. I wonder what Pittsburgh Steeler fans are feeling out there, because I know quite a few of them. And you know what? I know a group, and they're the whole family. Pittsburgh, let me tell you this. We have a very loyal, rabid, faithful, one of the best fan groups in the NFL, right? Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh is up there also. And I'll tell you that
they're crazy.
I've been to Pittsburgh on a Sunday, and it's incredible.
Wow.
At their fandom, yo. I'm talking about, I think everyone in the whole entire city has on black and gold on Sunday. It was incredible. I'm talking about I'm not talking about, I wasn't at the stadium. I'm not talking about at the stadium. Of course, you're going to see people in their colors at the stadium. I'm talking about this is around town, just on a Sunday. I'm talking about 80-year-old women. Everybody had on black and gold. And I get it, at the time, they still have the most Super Bowls in league history. But that fan base is incredible. So I say that to say I know some Pittsburgh Steelers fans that are close friends, and their son, the youngest son at the time, had to be like, he might have been less than 10 years old, 5 years ago, and I'll make mention of this as I describe this, but 5 years ago he was under 10 years old. He was dying. He wanted the Pittsburgh Steelers to select Jalen Hurts, and they didn't, and it broke his heart. It broke his little heart.
That was Jalen said. Jalen said he thought he was going to Pittsburgh.
Yes, they wanted.
They wanted him. Yes,
this young kid wanted Jalen Hurts. Now, mentioning that, let me just say this is the 5-year anniversary of when Jalen Hurts was selected. He was selected on this day, this exact day, 5 years ago.
Wow.
The draft happened to be on the same date 5 years ago, and that's when we chose Jalen Hurts. So
Yes,
5 years ago today, we chose Jalen Hurts. Pittsburgh missed out. The little kid was disappointed, but maybe it'll be made up to him tonight because they're going to have an opportunity to pick Shedeur Sanders, and we'll see if they do pull the trigger on that.
Let me I see everybody Sharif and Tony talking about Gilly is spotted at the Sanders household. Gilly has been a supporter of Colorado or Deion Sanders since he became a head coach. When Deion Sanders became a head coach down Jackson State, Gilly was riding for him.
Yeah, he was.
I think he's a booster for him. So when he went to Colorado, you know, he was out there. You saw him on the sidelines. So of course he's going to be with the Sanders family. Even though he's a big time Eagles fan, he's the secondary mascot of the Eagles.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, he is.
He supports that family. And listen, man, as much things you can say about their attitude, how they are, and what they're he gets his family to the pros. I think his other son, Shiloh, is going to be outstanding safety. He might be a 4th round safety. So if we're going to get starts, we can pick him up in like the 4th round. He's a hitter. He is a hitter. He might not have that fast twitch like his dad, but he's a hitter. He's one thing Deion Sanders didn't do. He'll cover you. He'll make the tackle, but he wasn't a hitter.
No, he wasn't up there. No.
His son is a hitter. His son is a hitter, you know. And listen, I know the league is not like it was before, and you can't really hit like we want people to hit. But I mean, at 6'2", at his length, going in 4'5", like he's a legit safety over the top that can help out for this team.
Well, we are waiting for the Denver Broncos. They're on the clock right now. I don't know.
Running back. They're going to run it back.
They're going to run it back?
Yeah, I can tell you right now. They're going to run it back. They're going to run it back. They're going well, they might go Jahan Campbell since the freaking who was that just picked? Since Seattle didn't pick Tampa Bay didn't pick a linebacker, they may go Jahad Campbell from Alabama, a linebacker. They do need a linebacker. They do need some guys on defense, but their main need right now is a running back for Bo Nix, a running back or a wide receiver for Bo Nix. Who's 5'11", Sharif? I mean, Tarif?
Luther Burden is a wide receiver still on the board. Matthew Golden is still on the board.
Luther Burden is going to be a good wide receiver in the league. He's a slot receiver. He's going to be he's going to go somewhere and be dynamic. But far as running backs, I think they're going to run it back this way. Omar Hampton from North Carolina was a 2nd-rated running back. Trayvon Henderson of Ohio State. Keyshawn Jenkins from Ohio State. There are some guys out there, and this fast kid from Virginia Tech, Basu Tootin. He ran like a 4.2. He's a fast kid. There's Deion Sanders. And hold on, does Gilly got an Eagles? Gilly got an Eagles hat. I don't know if that is a Colorado hat. I don't know what that is. I can't see it. He's not looking this way. That's a money hat. He getting money off a noggin.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Oh, Salo? Yeah, he's 5'11". I mean, but it's a safety. Like when you put the pads on, that's 6'1". I mean, yeah, that's 6'2", actually. Because I'm 6'1", so when I put the pads on, But anyway, that's a long. That ain't happening again. That guy's thinking. All right, the Denver Broncos pick is in. As they slow walk to the stadium, to the podium.
I'm watching the tracker. Pick is in.
Take my shot after this because I know Deion is gonna go crazy.
Yeah. You want to wait for Deion's pick, or you want to take it after this?
I'm gonna take it after this.
All right. Broncos selection. Oh, I thought that was the selection. That's just the dude that's selecting.
Yeah.
That's making the pick. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So Broncos on the clock. Pittsburgh is going to be getting Shedeur, barring anything. It'd be surprising if they don't pick him.
What's up, Richie? All right, here we go. I got you. With the 20th overall
Samuel.
pick, the Denver Broncos select cornerback Jahdae Barron.
Oh, Jahdae Barron.
Yeah, there are some players still available. Gee, Louise. I don't think Jahdae, he was the top overall. No, he was the second overall. Will Johnson was first overall, and Maxwell Hairston is still available. These are the top corners. Jahdae is actually no. I'm sorry, Jahdae. He did Jahdae. I'm sorry. He did win the best cornerback of the year award over Travis Hunter.
Yeah, players dropping again. Christopher Burton says, question, since college players are getting paid nowadays, now does winning national championships matter as much now? I don't know.
That's funny that he say that, Darnell, because I heard something today. There's a new category that all these teams are putting on their boards. There used to be players with character concerns, positive and negative, and now they put on the board players that like football or don't like football. Because yes, this NDL money, players are getting paid in college. Now when they leave college, they don't have a desire to make the money or play as hard to get a contract because they already made the money in college and they're pursuing their business. I still think it does. I still think it brings the passion that you want to do something on this level and do it on the next level. I really think they need to do a salary cap when it comes to NDL. So cap the players on making a certain amount of money and teach them financial literacy. Because if you look at the guy from Tennessee, Nico, he wanted $4 million. Like, kid, I understand you should get it. You should ask. You should take everything you can get, but still show what you can do because you're going to get more than that when you get into the league. Like, so I think it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. But yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock. The pick is already in. We already know who's coming here, who's coming up. It's not a secret who they're picking here. Shoot, if I could put this on FanDuel right now and bet it, I would. I'm pretty sure they're picking Shedeur Sanders right now. I'm actually going to turn this TV. I want to hear him say that because I want to see Gilly on there. But after you get some food in your stomach, I'm going to take the shot for our Philadelphia Eagles into the NFL draft. Football is back. Football is back, and I am excited. I am, because this baseball season sucks. All right, it's terrible.
He gonna get that boy fired. He gonna get my frat brother fired. Let me stop playing. He rocking back and forth. You better not get my frat brother fired, boy.
Nah, they be all right. They gonna be all right. The Steelers gonna be all right.
No, I'm just joking. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be an excellent quarterback. I'm just joking. He's gonna be rocking back and forth. You better not get my man fired out there. Shedeur should be the likely pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I wonder, is this disappointing or is this around where he should be picked? Look, they're showing the Steelers fans. They're very, very excited, man. I wonder, well, we're seeing these Steelers fans' reaction, but I'm just curious as to the Steelers fans that I know. How excited are they to get Shedeur Sanders?
The 24th overall. Whoa. Oh, wow.
They did not take Shedeur. They took Derek Harmon, defensive tackle from Oregon. So the Pittsburgh Steelers have even passed on Shedeur Sanders. What a surprise. If we were talking about teams, and I asked earlier, what teams have chosen that needed a quarterback that's passed on them? And there might have been, like, Seattle probably could have used a quarterback or
Their
whatever.
quarterback is Mason
But
Rudolph.
when you look at it, the Pittsburgh Steelers look like the most quarterback needy team out of these first 21 picks, outside, of course, the number one pick in the draft. But the Giants also. But they look like the most quarterback needy team, and they decided to pass on Shedeur Sanders. They going with Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle from Oregon. So now that makes me very curious as to what the narrative is. Is it really about the arrogance or whatever? I don't know, because teams don't care about that if a player can play. I mean, we took Jalen Carter. He did not have the best character, you know what I'm saying, in the draft.
But he was the best player.
But he was the best player. That's what I'm saying. He didn't have the best character, but because of his talent, we didn't pass on him. And I don't think a lot of people were going to pass on him. So now it makes me curious as to, I think that it's starting to the narrative is not necessarily his arrogance, but maybe it does have to do with his skill set and where they have him.
It's crazy. His skill set is on par with one of the best quarterbacks in college football. He is the best quarterback in college football. I don't care what they say about Cam Ward. Cam Ward had an outstanding offensive line. Shedeur didn't have. We talked about this. Cam Ward had playmakers at every single position. Shedeur doesn't.
Yeah,
doesn't. Like, let's get that honest. He had Travis Hunter, who was playing 100 snaps a game. 100 snaps a game.
Oh,
now,
look,
Jimmy Horn Jr. was pretty doggone good, but he wasn't outstanding. You know what? This is Pittsburgh. You talk about he might not get your fat brother fired. This pick might get your fat brother fired. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, well, he's not.
You're going into a season with Mason Rudolph as your quarterback. Let that sink in. I'm taking my shot.
All right, yeah. So you are watching the NFL 2025 NFL Draft with us, Eagles Talk. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. And Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve. I am just sipping on some tea and watching this whole thing unfold as the Pittsburgh Steelers do not take Shedeur Sanders. So here we go. Everybody, let me know what you're drinking out there. And we're going down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. Oh, thank God. Jeez, you almost blew my ears up.
I forgot to hit the button.
All right. Hold on. I gotta get my power cord. I'm about to run out. Hold on.
I got you. It's just amazing when you go back and you after years you look at this draft, you look at the mistakes that teams make year in and year out. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers because they're a PA team, and they're going to a season with a situation where you have two dynamic wide receivers. You don't have a quarterback giving the ball. So he may he might end up going into the Giants in the second round. He might be a second round quarterback. And that's going to be a problem. I don't believe he should be a second round quarterback, but hey, I'm not a GM. You draft a player who's the third ranked defensive tackle from Oregon. I didn't even give you guys the kid's name. I'm sorry. I apologize about that. His name is Derek Harmon from Oregon, defensive tackle. He's the number one. He's the number one round pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 21 overall. He is a transfer from Michigan State. He's a big kid, 6'5", 310. But for that size, only 5 sacks. He's a transfer student. Like, I I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be transfer students in the upcoming years because in NILs and the transfer rules and stuff like that. I get that. I understand it. Sometimes the school is not right for you. You need to go to a better school, and he made the best out of the situation that he was put in. Um, but Pittsburgh, man, you needed a quarterback. You swung and you missed. I know you're probably thinking that all right, they're gonna go get another quarterback. They're gonna go get some of these other guys is available. And yeah, there are a lot of quarterbacks that's going to be available. Jason Dart, they've been talking him up. They talk Jason Dart up just like they talk all these other uh freaking quarterback like Daniel Jones. Jalen Monroe, he's going to be available. He's a Southern quarterback. Let's be honest. Those quarterbacks don't play well besides Jalen Hurts. Quinn Evers, the Texas quarterback. Will Howard from Ohio State is going to be available. Kyle McCord, who was a very good quarterback, who kind of trembled down the road. My thing is, I don't get why you would go for a quarterback, not go for a quarterback at this juncture right now, and lock yourself in for the next at least 4 years with him.
All right, let me say this. Sharif had a funny line.
Yeah.
He said if the Steelers don't draft Sador, he might as well go to bed.
Yeah.
And then when he didn't draft him, he said, night, Sador.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because
they probably didn't want the Sanders headache. That's what should be said. They probably didn't want the Sanders headache.
I mean, you got the perfect coach for the Sanders headache. Now he's going to end up going to the Giants. The Giants will have an offensive line, and he's gonna flourish there, but he's not gonna take the team nowhere. He's going to the Giants.
Who? Sador?
Yeah, he's going to the Giants. Giants got the number two pick in the second round.
So none of the remaining teams in the first round need it.
Yeah,
Green Bay does it. Minnesota does it. Houston doesn't. Rams don't. Baltimore don't. Detroit don't. Commanders don't. Mm-hmm. Buffalo, no, you're right. Nobody else needs a quarterback. Unless the Rams want to get a project quarterback for when but you wouldn't take a project quarterback number one, would you?
No. I feel sad for the kid because he did work his butt off to be something, and he's done it for 4 years, not just 1 year in a cloud of dust like Cam Ward. Cam Ward he's a senior, and the stuff that he's done over his time, he really showed out this year. He really showed out this year, not last year or the year before. Shedeur Sanders has been on the forefront, for 4 years, even with a HBCU.
Man, look, in the grand scheme of things,
I just feel for the kid.
You can't control things like this, right? But you don't know how your story is supposed to play out. This is maybe what he needs to jumpstart and give him the motivation that he needs to go out there and crush it. Some people talk about some of the great players. If you go over their story, they didn't evolve coming into the league with a chip on their shoulder because they felt that they should have went higher. So this is a part of your story, Shedeur. Take this as motivation. If you have the confidence in yourself, then it doesn't matter when you're picked. As long as you're picked, you go out there and you perform like you believe you can, like you know you can. So there's no time to hang your head or anything like that. One thing that's not in question is the fact that he has the ability to play in the NFL and the fact that he's going to get drafted.
Yeah, he's going to get drafted.
You know what I mean? Whether it's tonight or tomorrow, he's going to get drafted. So Shedeur, lift your head up high. You may not have gone where you want to go, but there are so many stories of NFL players who have dropped in the draft, not been drafted where they think they should have been, and just dominated. Justin Jefferson's one of them, right? Justin Jefferson was mad that we didn't pick him, and he's
Yeah.
been on a tear ever since.
I'm kind of happy we didn't pick Justin Jefferson because we wouldn't have the players we have today.
Yeah, we wouldn't have. In hindsight.
With the number 22 pick, Los Angeles Chargers select Omarion Hampton, running back out of North Carolina. So they get a running back finally in the Chargers with Omarion Hampton, who's a second-rated running back in this draft. He's a pretty good, pretty dynamic running back. He's pretty doggone good, even though he was North Carolina.
All right, so this leaves Starks still on the board.
Yes, it does.
Someone that I wouldn't mind the Eagles picking up. You guys, did you let me know what pick would make you happy? I don't think anybody let me know.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
What pick would make you guys happy tonight? It could be either the player or position. What would you be happy if the Eagles came out with this player or this position tonight? Like, I'll be happy if they came away with Starks. I would be happy about that. With a safety, solidifying that back end that's already pretty dynamic in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Replacing that energy CJ I think he's a better player than CJ He can play that hybrid linebacker in the nickel. So I like his versatility, and you know how we love versatility on our defense, on our team, period, but especially on the defense, a player that can play multiple roles. And with Vic Fangio's defense, that will come in handy. A safety that can also play hybrid linebacker in the nickel or dime.
You know what I think sometimes? I think sometimes these other teams, they are too smart for their own good. Instead of taking the best player available.
Well, we know that. Howie used to do that a lot.
and Howie doesn't do it any longer. I'm happy he doesn't do it. And I see you out there, Reef, about in Maguire, the safety from South Carolina. Yes, he's the same size as the kid that went to the Baltimore Ravens. That we didn't pick. We ended up picking who we picked up, Jordan Davis or something like that, I think. But Mekhi Starks, he would solidify this defense at that safety position. I listen. I understand that we still got to look at Sidney Brown, and give him an opportunity. But Starks, if you ever watch him play, his IQ is second to none at that position, that safety position. And I actually think he goes to Green Bay right now.
Okay, well, we hope that Pat's wrong.
I think he's going to Green Bay. Green Bay, they need a cornerback. They don't really need another wide receiver, but they're probably going to get another wide receiver sometime during this draft. They need some offensive linemen. Actually, they do need wide receiver because Christian Washington tore his ACL. So 22 picks in, only one quarterback, one wide receiver off the board. Everyone digging in the trenches. They're trying to follow the blueprint that Howie put out there.
Mm-hmm. You know that this is a copycat league, and with our team being as dominant as it was last year, and people didn't give us credit while we were doing this, as we were going through our domination during the regular season, right? People were not giving us the credit. They were looking at our offense and they were looking at our passing game in particular, and they were thinking, well, you know, this team can only be so good because they don't have a passing game. They don't pass because we were run heavy. We didn't need to pass. We leaned on Saquon Barkley. Nobody could stop the run. Why would we mess that up? Whenever we needed for our passing game to be effective, it was effective. But most of the game plans, we could dominate on the ground. Why would you deviate from something you're dominant in?
Yeah.
And then we showed them in the playoffs that when the passing game is needed, we can do that. And no other better time than the Super Bowl when we dominated through the air when Kansas City sold out to take away Saquon Barkley. No problem. We have a Jalen Hurts. What's that Marvel movie? There's like, we have a Hulk. We have a Hurts. We have a Hurts.
The
Okay.
Avengers. It was actually the Avengers movie.
Yeah,
The
Avengers.
the first one.
Yeah.
I
We
have
have a
an
Hurts.
army. We have the Hulk.
So
Do you want to know something about that movie that's crazy? It was confirmed. If you watched the whole series of Marvel, right, from beginning to when Tony Stark died. You remember the raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy? He laughed at the Avengers of having trouble on Endgame, not Endgame, Infinity War, when they said they got attacked by the Chitauri um, uh, soldiers. And the raccoon laughed at him. He said, "They're they're like toy soldiers. We can just eliminate them."
yeah.
So he confirmed that the Guardians was stronger than the Avengers by themselves, the four.
Mm.
But that's just something I figured out. It's weird.
That was my what do you think about this fate? I don't want to get into it. I'll go down the rabbit hole. All right,
Come on, we got time. We've been sitting there for almost 3 hours.
I was like, what do you think about this phase of Marvel right now? I think it's
the weird phase. It's the weird phase. It's I don't get me wrong, Captain America was good. But it should have been more of the Red Hawk. All right. The Red Hawk really that part of the movie, I'm not gonna tell you what part of the movie it was.
I saw it. I thought it was trash.
That part of the movie was the best part, period.
Mm-hmm.
It was the best part, period. Okay. The rest of the movie was like, all right, whatever.
Right. The rest of the movie was horrible.
The Loki series. Was pretty good.
Now I haven't invested in that. I need to. I am starving for that. So I need to. Maybe that'll bring me back.
Since they're getting rid of Kane, Kane Conqueror, like it was something. It was developing something very good. All right, it was developing something very good that had a great storyline with Loki. Then they went off the rails with the Secret Warriors and the Skrulls, which was stupid. All right, I'm gonna say it right now, it was stupid. All right, now Deadpool, Wolverine kind of brought us back.
Oh yeah, that definitely bounced back.
Definitely was a bounce back, and I'm happy for it. But that Skrulls thing kind of got me mad.
Yeah, I don't think this TV series, a lot of them are less spectacular than I expect because I'm expecting Marvel movie types excitement, and it's not that. It's only a few that
the 3 TV shows. I gave it to you. The 3 TV shows: the Loki series, the one with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah,
and the one with Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I like that.
And introduced the original Captain America, right? That was more like it wasn't about the power of being a superhero. It was about the individual story, and that was the storyline. But everything else was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It was just some filler. This gave us something that kept our appetite at bay until a movie came out.
Yeah.
But I thought so too. Chris says Captain America could have been better. Yeah, I thought it was the whole thing. I mean, like even the fight scenes were like, I was like, what? Why are they doing my man like this? They could have put better choreography than that. Like, yo.
They should just give him the super serum soldier.
Yeah, for real. Just give him the super serum and let this man have some superpowers.
Yeah, man. This is a joke.
We tried balance the first 4 weeks Richie is talking about. So that he's talking about the offense last year.
Yeah, we did.
And to finish that conversation, so people weren't.
Let's finish on the other side of the pick. Let me do the pick because the pick is coming in. We're gonna finish on the other side of the pick.
All right.
The Green Bay Packers, who has about maybe 50,000 fans there total at the NFL draft, unlike the Eagles. Philadelphia did. With the 23rd overall pick, the Green Bay Packers select. Come on. Come on, we don't care about that. He's talking too much.
I know.
You don't care about that. They talking
Yeah, come on. He's trying to get a rise out of the crowd.
13-time world champions. No, you only won 3 times, 4 times, 4 times.
Yeah, he's doing too much. He like the mayor was at the parade. Talking too much.
Ooh, come on, bro. They select wide receiver Matthew Golden from the Texas. He's a speedster. Well, he's supposed to be a speedster, but I looked at his tape and he doesn't pull away like a speedster should. Now, don't get me wrong, that might be different in the league. It might be because of scheme or the competition. But I think Green Bay needed more. If I'm wrong.
Matthew Golden. Oh, they got Matthew Golden.
Yeah.
That is Daredevil good? I haven't watched that.
I heard it's really
Reef said it. It is.
We're going to go back to this Marvel thing. So, yes, Daredevil is really good. Daredevil is – I didn't get a chance to watch it. I wanted all the episodes to come out so I can sit there and just watch everything.
Now, hold on. Wait a minute. For placement here, this is Daredevil's second time around. So, Are you talking about the first time he came out with those couple seasons, or these seasons now, the new one?
Daredevil Born Again.
I'm asking Reef, actually, because he didn't want to put it in the chat. Are you talking about Daredevil's current season that's out now, Reef, or are you talking about from the beginning when he was, Let me know about that. I'm with Christopher Burton, too. I'm ready for Doomsday and then Secret Wars. I can't wait. Doomsday is when we're going to see, Tony Robert Downey Jr.
No, we're going to see him before that.
Oh, yeah?
So Chris, let's let you know, he's going to be in the Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that would make sense. He's a Fantastic Four villain. But
he's going to be Tony Stark. Well,
we're still doing the multiverse, right? We're still in the multiverse.
Well, we're doing the Ultimate Marvel Universe. So it's a little bit different because now you combine the universes because of the incursions. I don't know about how much I can say here because, all right, it's not a lot of people watching because I did see the script. It's going to be wild. I'm looking forward to these next few projects coming up. It's gonna bring back nostalgia of when you first saw like Iron Man 1, 2, and was really getting into Avengers because like they're doing something good. And Fantastic Four is going to lead us into the Doomsday plot, which is going to also take place with some. I think they got rid of Secret Wars, if I'm not mistaken. They changed it from Secret Wars to something totally different, and we will get that in the next 2 years. You will see the name they changed it to. But
you go back to Kang actually because he got cleared. He didn't even do that.
Well, Kang's going to be a part of it, and yes, there's going to be some aspects that. The Kang Council is going to be wiped out. We all know this. We all heard this. The Kang Council, the Council of Kangs is going to be wiped out by Dr. Doom. But one aspect of the council will stay alive to protect the future. And listen, Victor Lively. I got to say this. Victor
Where
Lively.
you get this from, Pat? Pat, don't be spreading no false crap. We need reliable sources. I know you're a sailing you're related to Shell. Shell be putting out false information. I remember Shell used to post on our page unverified Eagles insider Eagle information, and I used to call them up and be like, "Yo, why'd you put that up there? You got to verify these things before you put them on the page."
Yeah,
I know we're not broadcast journalists, but we have to have some sense of integrity. Like, yo, you can't just put out just rumors. Like, yo.
So I'm not gonna put out rumors. But there is all right, so let me do this. There is some Reddit users that have been on point when it comes to source material, right?
All right.
There has been some people that's actually been throwing different things out there that actually has been 100% correct. The first Avengers movie, for instance, right? The script was sent over to um what's his name that played the black guy. I'm drawing a blank right now. Not Morgan Freeman. I'm about to say Morgan Freeman.
Who, Rhodey?
Not Rhodey. The one with the eye. I can't even call his character.
Oh, Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
So when the script was sent over to Samuel Jackson, he couldn't print it out. This is a confirmed story, actually. He couldn't print it out. So they had to call Attack to get it printed out. So when they went to go print this story out, this is why Marvel changed how they deliver scripts now to their employees. Hold on, I'm gonna give you the rest of the story after this pick. Hold up. With the 24th overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Donovan Jackson, offensive guard from Ohio State University. So back to the story. So they called a technician. The technician got everything working right and got the script printed out for Samuel Jackson. But he hit it twice. So the one script came out for Samuel Jackson. He got it. His personal assistant took the second script and sold it. And when he sold, oh shoot, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Reef said the source is comic books. I don't know. They don't follow the comic books exactly.
Sometimes they don't, but lately they
the
have
storyline maybe, but little parts of it.
The Giants are back on the clock and they're about to select the door. I just know it.
What? This is the Giants. Where? They made a trade?
Yeah, they made a trade. They made a trade with the Houston Texans.
Oh, yeah, they're getting Sador. All right, Sador's going to what? I mean, New York.
Yeah, he's going to New York.
Wow, that's incredible. That's a good.
No, we don't need him in the NFC East.
Man, we don't care about them, damn thing. We don't care about them.
They don't have an offensive line, so you're right.
They don't have no offensive line.
Yeah.
But look, man, you can give. They're not like us. I know that phrase has been running to the ground, but they're not like us.
But they don't
you can give them the same recipe, same ingredients, and they are not going to make the dish like we do. I'm not afraid of it.
I bet you they don't select them. They might select another quarterback like Jason Dart or Will Howard.
Yeah. No, if they take a quarterback, it's going to be Sador. Unless was there any talk about him not wanting to go there?
No,
there's talk about that.
They don't select black quarterbacks. I didn't mean to say it like that, but when was the last time they had a starting quarterback?
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but I didn't want to say it out loud.
I think I really think they want Archie Manning, so they really want to get somebody that's not going to be that good for them, and so they can tank and get Archie Manning. I really think that's what they really want to go after. They want to keep that Manning pipeline.
I'm not going to tell you who they really going to pick because I'm gonna be mad.
Oh, you go Starks?
As a shot, as a slap in the face to us.
Starks, yeah. That's crazy. You're right. You're 100% right.
Watch, I'm telling you.
No, that is a slap in the face. But I mean, the best available right now. Let's be honest. Let me go back to this listing.
All right, the best pick is in.
Yeah, they still had a commercial. Mike Green, the edge rusher from Marshall, was still available. The Jihad Campbell just got selected, I believe, right? I'm going back and forth, so I'm going through a lot of things. No, he did not get selected, so they might select him as linebacker because they do need linebacker. They need defensive help. Luther Burton is another wide receiver.
What offensive line players are there? They still need that.
They do need offensive line help. They need a lot of offensive line help. I wish I could go and win the shows right now because that would be funny to watch them. Who are we picking right now?
It may be Shedeur though, but you got to think what player would make them trade back into the first round? It's got to be a player of need, so it's probably going to be Shedeur.
But the crazy thing about it, like let's think about it. Let's think about this really quickly, right? No other team in the first round was going to get Shedeur. The only team I think about was Cleveland, and they always give them the first pick in the second round.
And maybe that's what they wanted to jump ahead of them, and they couldn't get any other players.
Yeah. Oh, it's all good with me. So what they say is all good in the hood. This is gonna be very interesting what they do right here.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. And like I said, it's the Giants, and they mess it up. He's a joke. Now step the Giants can give us relaxation. Hey man, we got a Super Bowl off of it, so appreciate you. But yeah, they do need a quarterback. They need offensive line. They need a lot. The Giants need a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And if they select Will Johnson, he's a good corner. I'm not going to say he's not a good corner. But they do need a guard. They need a wide receiver. They need offensive line help more than anything else.
The pick is in.
Yeah, this is Shedeur. That's crazy. They're still paying Daniel Jones. You know that, right?
Uh-huh.
That's something else, man.
Yeah. It's got to be Shedeur.
Yeah.
Still not going to help him.
Nope. It'll be crazy.
I guess he might fit though, because they don't have a line, and he's used to playing behind no line.
Well, the pick is in. They've been saying the pick is in for the longest with the Giants. And come on, you can walk a little faster than that. They picked Jackson Dart.
They picked Dart?
They picked Jackson Dart.
Yep. Well, that's held true with they don't draft black quarterbacks. I know my boys is mad.
How the hell? I'm trying not to cuss. How the hell? How Jackson Dart is better than Shedeur Sanders? He's a better. That's like Mitch Trubisky is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. Oh, are you serious? Are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me. He got a scar. Anakin Skywalker got killed. He turned to Darth Vader. He got cut up. You're about to get cut up. They don't turn you to Darth Vader.
They just drafted Daniel Jones 2.0.
Like this, that makes no sense. I don't get it. Oh God, that's terrible. That is terrible. Even the Giants fans say another Daniel Jones. Again, the Giants think they're smarter than the average bear. Oh my goodness! And you think he's going to have a clean pocket?
Uh-uh.
He's
They
not
would have
going.
been better with Sador with the line they have.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in a chat with a couple of Giants fans. They mad as hell.
Yo, you have Deion
They are mad
Sanders'
as
son.
hell.
You have Deion Sanders' son, and you choose a kid that we didn't know who he was last year. Like, who threw nothing but interceptions this year? Like, let me do this. Uh, oh my goodness. Let me do Jackson Dart versus. No, don't you dare say no freaking Jalen Hurts.
What happened? What happened? Hold on. So this is funny. I mean, I don't know what Dart is going to do,
Mhm.
but from all it looks like this is good for us Eagles fans. We don't have to worry about the Giants because they. Oh man, I don't get it, man. I just told them you said it. I was thinking it, but you said it, and I actually told my Giants friend about my belief in that their owner is just not going to draft a black quarterback. I was like, look, he just doesn't. He's had opportunities to do it, and he just doesn't. I don't know.
They keep talking about, what the crazy thing I'm looking at these scouting reports. They say Sanders is mechanically sound but lacks spectacular arm talent and physical traits, according to Big Blue View. That's stupid. Dart has good arm talent, can push the. He has hold up. He has good arm talent, can push the ball vertically, and is better athlete than Sanders. You're not drafting
Oh,
because
hold
he's
on, Tony Barron. Give me a news break.
Oh my bad. Yeah,
Tony
he did.
Barron reports how he tried to trade him with the Packers for 23. He's working on something. Yeah, keep your eye on that, man. I told you. I think that
Shador threw 14,000 yards. Jason Dart only threw for 10,000 yards. He threw 134 touchdowns to 27 interceptions. Dart threw 72 touchdowns to 22 interceptions. Oh my goodness, these mother brothers. The Atlanta Falcons select defensive end James Pierce Jr.
all right, good.
No, that's what I wanted.
Bill Crow, the Giants are doing Giants things. That is so funny. That is so funny. I'm laughing at the opposition. You know why? Because I've taken it easy on my friends. Because and maybe it's because of my older age and my maturity level. Because there was a time when I was that very, very obnoxious Eagle fan.
Mm-hmm.
And, and after winning a Super Bowl this year, I would have given our opposition hell. They would not have liked to see me come. And I've calmed down a lot, right? But it doesn't stop them from hating us because we won. And remember when the black moms would be like, "You want to cry? I give you something to cry for." You know what I'm saying? Remember Mama say that? Mama say like, "You want to cry? I give you something to cry for." And I was thinking to them like, "Y'all want to be mad? I'm gonna give you something to be mad about." As I have not talked a lot of trash to them, so that's why I'm enjoying. And I don't think I need to because you guys are inept. I mean, the Giants and the Cowboys just make it easy. It's not even fun making fun of the. I was about to say that. About to use a slur that wasn't right for. But it's not fun to make fun of the mentally challenged. And that's what I see the front offices of the Giants and the Cowboys as. mentally challenged.
It ma-
But I
ma-
laugh at that move right there, though.
it makes no sense to draft a project quarter. Jason Dart is a project quarterback. Yes, you already got 3 quarterbacks in front of you. You have Russell Wilson. You have look at him laughing.
Richie said it wasn't just black mamas.
Look at Shador Sanders. Oh, he said I'm black. Shador Sanders has looked like. I'm so thankful not to go to the Giants because they don't have no offensive line. But he might end up going to could go to
Cleveland.
Detroit. We never thought about that. Because Jared
Why?
Goff,
Didn't their offensive coordinator took a head coaching job, right?
yeah, but they still would need a younger quarterback to learn behind Goff, right?
Goff still pretty. He's gonna be around for a minute. What you talking about?
I mean, Goff, how is he 30? He's 30. He got about 2 more years.
You talking about quarterbacks playing till they 40? You talking about
He's not playing till he's 40. All right, there are some
they are easily playing till they 36.
there are certain quarterbacks that play till they're 40. There are certain other quarterbacks that when they hit 30, they decline. He's in that certain other quarterbacks. All right.
Hmm.
I mean, Detroit don't need a quarterback. Washington sure don't need a quarterback. Buffalo don't need a quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Christopher.
The Chiefs damn sure don't need a quarterback. You know what I need? I need a cold beverage.
Yeah, I'm
back.
laughing, and I'm laughing at the Giants fans in this chat because they I was just monitoring the chat. I didn't say anything, and they were talking about some. Yeah, it's going to be Sanders here. It's going to be Sanders here, right? And then it wasn't. And you should see all their reaction, like, oh fuck. And I said, silly rabbits. You guys, you just drafted Daniel Jones 2.0. They just drafted Daniel Jones 2.0. And of course, I don't know what this guy is going to wind up being, but I you know what it does for me, it makes me really, really curious about Sador. It does. It just because a lot of, well, I'm not going to say a lot because they're, I guess the last 10 picks from 21 to 32 weren't teams that were quarterback needy. But it does say something to me about teams that I think were quarterback needy. And like one of the most quarterback needy teams in this draft, in my opinion, was the Pittsburgh Steelers. And for my frat brother to pass on him, and he's a guy that does draft, try to bring, and he has a culture going on there in Pittsburgh, right? I mean, most of the successful teams do, right? They have a culture, and they want not only to pick the most talented players, but you know they do interviews, and those interviews are not for nothing. You know, they interview because they want to bring in players that are talented, but also players that fit their culture. So, knowing Mike Tomlin and the culture he's established in Pittsburgh, it makes me question just how detrimental Sador Sanders' behavior and such has been prior to tonight's draft, to have a quarterback like Tomlin pass on him. And Tomlin's a leader of men. He's a leader of men. And it just says a lot that he passed on Sador Sanders, and his team is in desperate need of a quarterback. Jackson Dart gives me Logan Paul vibes. He said, Eric says he's not worried about the midgets, Dow ass, or the bumanders. Richard said it's time to drink. Dante, Bill Crow says, Dante, I'm with you. I have talked a bit of trash after Super Bowl, but I have been silent lately. Next season, we are going all the way 0-0 to start. Yeah, I've really been letting these guys off the hook. So that's why I'm laughing so hard at them. and poking fun because they've been mad at me because my team dominated. Why are you mad at me? I haven't even said anything to you. Why are you mad at me? Because my team dominated, and I hit it at the fact that
So right, that Dark Knight. Oh, I knew that was happening. Makai
What?
Starks goes to the Ravens. They get a good safety tandem.
Oh, they took him. Damn it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to bed.
I think how we trying to trade up to get him.
Oh, dang. That was probably why. That was my dude. Damn, he goes to they got Kyle Hamilton and this dude. Oh, that's ugly.
they got a dynamic duo right now.
Yeah, that's a dynamic duo. Damn.
Yeah.
I thought you said he had a green suit on. He had a green suit on.
That was the wrong person.
Oh, okay. I was say. All right, so Reef, you talk about Shedeur need to go to bed. I need to go to bed. He said, if they don't pick Shedeur, he might as well go to bed. Yeah, and you're right. He is right, though. But he had a chance because when the Giants traded back in, I just knew they were going to pick him. But yeah, he might as well go to bed and wait for the mark because I don't think he's getting picked tonight unless somebody wants him desperately and willing to trade up into the first round to get him. But damn, it looks like Shedeur is going to be a second day pick. Again, Shedeur, hold your head up, man, because this is what these are what legends are made of, man. When they're underestimated and chosen and overlooked by teams, this is what great players use as a chip on their shoulder and for extra motivation. So, I mean, we have a Super Bowl winning quarterback who's done that. Jalen Hurts, second round pick. He's used that motivation to be a Super Bowl MVP, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he's won this city over. So keep your head up and and the confidence that you have in yourself, keep that. Don't let that go anywhere. Keep that because you're going to definitely need that if you're going to show and prove to these people that they made the biggest mistake of their lives. So, it's nothing to hang your head about because you're not chosen on the first night. Again, like I said, he's going to be chosen. That's a guarantee. Mm-hmm. He has the talent to play in the NFL, and he is going to play in the NFL. So don't let this don't let this discourage you.
Yeah, he's going to play in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm with you. Eric said, "Damn, yeah." All right, who's left?
Well, I knew the Ravens was going to select him. It's because they needed another safety. They just needed another safety. So this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be very interesting.
This is Reef said they traded back into the first round for Dart. He would have been there. They traded second round. They traded been there in the third round.
They traded back into the first round for. I can't even say it out loud. What I want to say.
I know. Oh my goodness, they traded back into the. Wow, y'all need to fire the. Oh look, I'm about to text in. I'm about to type in the text thread. Y'all need to fire y'all whole front off.
Listen, Jahad Campbell, linebacker for Alabama, is still available. He could possibly go to Washington or Detroit right here. I don't. Truthfully, all the players I was looking for, they're gone. Yeah, all the players I was looking for, they're nobody's there. So with that being said, we might trade back and pick up some draft capital. And I mean, there are a couple of corners, Will Johnson and Maxwell Harrison, that's available. There's a boy that Sharif was talking about from South Carolina, the safety Nick Namore, who was a combine monster. But we had our ups and downs with combine monsters, I mean, I do like his size. He's 6'3", 6'4", 220 pounds. He could play in the box because he can match up with a lot of these tight ends. But with the Will Johnson, Mike Green, Sador Sanders, Maxwell Harrison, Jahad Campbell, they have a lot of people still available on this board. I think they need a cornerback at this for the Lions. This is crazy.
A cornerback?
Yeah, I think they go cornerback.
All right.
Well, they need defense, period, because their whole defense was injured on IR last year. I hate to say it like that.
Mm-hmm.
They need defense.
For a player that would have been there. For a player.
Yeah, that's crazy. Thank goodness for the Giants. They help us out, They make us laugh.
Oh my goodness.
What would we do about the Giants? We won the Super Bowl. How about that? Thank you, Giants.
Yeah, we wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. So thank you. My man in the chat room was like, I said, y'all need to fire your whole front office. He said, F you talk about, Dante. They all need raises and extensions. He's a Commanders fan.
The Detroit Lions pick up defensive tackle from Ohio State, Tyreek Williams. I think he's the number 3 overall defensive tackle. This is a good pickup for the Lions. Again, they need defensive help. He's a number 5. I'm sorry, number 5 defensive tackle on the board. They need defensive line help. He's 6'2". He's not a big guy, but weight wise, he's 334 pounds. He's a little quick. He doesn't remind you of. No, that's not Milton Williams.
334.
Yeah, 334.
Oh, 334. I'm thinking 234. I'm about to say that's light. Oh, that's a 3. My bad.
It's a 3. Yeah, it's a 3.
I thought it was a 2. I was like 234. He's gonna get run over.
You're gonna say, "What are you talking about, Bat? You supposed to know this type of stuff." Listen, this college football season moving forward is so different because you got so many people transferring out. You got so many people not playing because
I know
they don't want to get injured for these NILs. You got so many people that's going to these schools because they're getting paid all this money and they're bums, they're trash.
Mhm.
India, like I said in the beginning of the show, NILs is good and it's bad. I really think they should have a cap on what the players can make, and that can help things out. They need to go back to the rules of transferring, right? If you transfer, you got to sit out a season, and that counts towards your eligibility. Because
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What is
I
this
was
guy
about to
right
say,
here?
who's this? That Sharif talking about?
That's a safety from South Carolina. We can't say his name.
Oh, okay.
But he's the guy that ran like a 4.4, 4.3. He's a monster. Playing safety, he was actually one of the better safeties in the league. He was an All-American. Yeah, he ran a 4.38, and he's 6'4".
Oh wow, that's fast. That's good.
Dante, I don't think you understand. When you run 4.3, that's fast, right?
That's fast, but when you're 6'4" and running,
when you're 6'4",
that's fast.
It's not expected for you to run a
That's my height. I know. Like
I ran a 4.3, right? I can honestly claim I ran a 4.3.
Right.
But Dark Knight, when me and you stand together, right, you about 3 inches taller than I am, right? I'm only 6'1".
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know that's impressive. 6'4", that's my height.
That's you running, Dante.
Yeah. I ain't never run a 3.4. Eric says Sador isn't a first-round talent, and obviously shows he isn't. Dude is lucky if he goes in the second round. That's what it seems to be. I mean, everybody is not usually wrong on these type of things. I mean, don't get me wrong. That there are situations. I mean, look how many teams were wrong with Tom Brady. I mean, good grief. So it is possible, but it just makes me wonder how he's graded. What teams saw when they brought him in. Was he such a turnoff with his attitude that teams were just like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Like I explained, I think you were away from the microphone, but teams have cultures. And there's some, I know the Cowboys in the 90s really didn't have a culture. They would hire you if you came right out of jail. But a lot of these teams, have certain standards and certain cultures, and maybe he didn't fit that culture. I don't know. But it's shocking that possibly one of the top 3 quarterbacks is going to slide into the second round. And there were some quarterback needy teams. One so needy that it traded back into the first round and still decided to pass on Sedor. So that team, the Giants, passed on Sedor not once but twice. They had an opportunity to secure a quarterback for the future in Sedor, and 2 times they didn't feel that he was the quarterback for them.
I want to throw something out there real quickly. All right, this is what you call overthinking the position. When a player is a top player, don't look at his mechanics. Don't look at his other intangibles, his off the field stuff. Look at the player itself. All right, 2018 it was the NFL draft where the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns had 2 first-round picks. One at 1. The first overall, and the second one at number 4. You know who was in that draft, Dark Knight?
Who?
Saquon Barkley. Lamar Jackson. I said the first overall pick should have been Saquon Barkley. Then their second pick should have been, the 4th pick should have been Lamar Jackson. You know how dynamic the Cleveland Browns would be right now?
Mm-hmm.
But instead, the first overall pick was Baker Mayfield. No disrespect to Baker because he's playing heck of football right now. The 4th pick was Denzel Ward, who's actually a pretty good cornerback, and he's still with Cleveland Browns, right? Those are 2 good picks. But just imagine if these GMs stop overthinking it.
Well, no, because, you have to look at the player, because we've seen a Jamarcus Russell who had all the skill sets of a good quarterback, the rifle arm, everything.
For the 29th overall pick, the Commanders picked Josh Connery Jr. from Oregon, offensive tackle.
All right, that's a good solid pick.
No, it's not. He's in Oregon.
Oh, they don't run too much, huh?
No, they have like a flashy type of offense. I mean, they have ran the ball. There has been some legit players come out there. Bruce Irvin is a running back from last year that was drafted to Tampa Bay. He was a very good running back. But Oregon is not known to put out offensive linemen and be super physical. I mean, he did something against a dual card. I'm looking at it right now. He held him to the point. Yeah, he held. Look, yeah, that's a whole. That's a whole. Why are you gonna show that clip?
All right, so Chris, Dante, back to your point. What do you think in the interview? I'm sorry. What do you think in the interview process they saw in Sanders for everyone to pass on him? I don't know. I mean, we're hearing reports that his arrogance and his confidence, he was kind of cocky. I don't know. I know he is confident, so I wouldn't doubt it, even with me not being in the room. But I don't take that as a bad thing, of course, is looking at who his dad is. Why wouldn't he think any other way? I mean, you want your kids to be confident, right?
Yeah.
Like I said before, most of the great players, legends, Hall of Famers, had that mindset before they showed you their greatness. I think that mindset is what propelled them to be great, is the belief in themselves and the confidence in their skill set, and they happen to go out and prove it. So I don't have a problem with that. I know that it could be overbearing if you take it to a level of disrespect, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe that's what some of the people felt. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I don't know. But yeah, you can be, I don't think people have a problem. At least I don't have a problem with people being confident. But some people are disrespectful with their arrogance. And I'm not saying that Sedor was, because I'm not in the room and I don't know him personally.
Mm-hmm.
But that could rub some people the wrong way. Now, to me, I think it's bullcrap because we've seen some players come into the league with that level of arrogance and confidence and still get chosen number one, Johnny Manziel, and the such. So,
Baker
you know,
Mayfield.
you know what I mean? So, you know, I don't know. We'll but again, like I said, Shedeur should not be worried about that. Shedeur, if you are all that you believe that you are, then you continue to believe that you are what you believe that you are, and you just come into the league and prove them wrong if you can. And if you don't, you prove them right that your talent level wasn't that to justify a first round selection.
Yeah.
Oh, so Reef, you wanted that guy. That's one of the players you wanted, right? He said, so the Eagles are getting Josh Simmons, Will Johnson, or Nick in Memorial Day. All right. So I gotta look these guys up.
So this is the part of the show when we start eating and drinking, hydrating, ready to go to sleep because we've been on here for three and a half hours.
So Will Johnson, is that a possibility? He's a cornerback. You think we'll take another cornerback?
He's going to Buffalo.
Okay. All right.
Buffalo. I can tell you that right now.
So that the guy that you want, Sharif, Nick E.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce his last name either. What's his position?
That's the guy that's 6'4" that ran a 4.3. Yeah, he's a safety.
Oh, that's him. Okay.
Yeah. So you talking about Kyle Hamilton? He's a reincarnation of Kyle Hamilton.
Okay. All right. So he ain't bad.
A little bit fast.
So what? So he's the second rated safety. I would assume.
Yes, he's the second rated safety. He was actually All-American. Let me go back to that statistic for you, so I can get all the information on Nick, so you know who you're dealing with at that safety if he's available. If the Bills don't take him because the Bills need a corner. So Nick is 6'3", 220. He's a junior. He's a 2024 first team All-American. And this past year, he led a QB rating when thrown to his direction at 28.6, along with 88 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 2 pick sixes. His strengths: ridiculous size, speed, specimen, outstanding ball skills, serious run stopping skills, and plus tackler. His change of direction because he's 6'4", it's going to be difficult. Won't stay with slot receivers. Of course, we're not going to put him on a slot receiver. Occasionally in space, quick spots. Well, he's not going to be put in that type of situation if he doesn't get took from the Bills right now. He ran a 4.3, 20 reps of 225. This is crazy. He had a 43-inch vert at 6'4". That's unheard of.
So I like him now. He's my new favorite player. So.
But you know, if that's only if they don't take him right now with the Bills. As the Bills do need secondary help. It's a strong possibility that he's there for them to take. The Kansas City Chiefs, they need offensive defensive linemen, so they don't need this guy. But
the Bills?
The Bills.
On the pass. So if they don't take him, we got a good chance of getting them. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, we got a strong chance to get him. But also, Maxwell Harrison will be available. Right? This is crazy. This is a lot of good players.
Harrison. Who's he?
He's the cornerback that ran a 4.2.
Oh. I'll take the safety. If Buffalo don't pick him.
So Buffalo, instead of picking the cornerback from Michigan, Will Johnson, Buffalo Bills select cornerback Maxwell Harrison from Kentucky.
All right, we can get to do Reef.
Mm-hmm.
Reef, we get to do Reef. If he don't play right, Reef, you know it's your fault, right? We blaming you, Reef. And the same would have been the case if we would have got, Starks and he didn't pan out. Whoever you are, rooting for us to pick, and they pick him, and he don't pan out, that you gotta take the blame for that. You vouch for this kid. So we take Nick and we get your guy, Reef. This is your kid. You at the voucher.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Eagles are on the clock.
They traded with the Kansas City Chiefs, one pick.
Oh my God! Oh,
so
they on the
they
clock.
have somebody they want to go get, and they knows nobody was going to pick them. Truthfully, I don't know who it's going to be. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no clue who it's going to be. Because pretty much the people that we were looking for, they're gone. TJ Sanders is another spot. Somebody said him. He's a defensive lineman from South Carolina. This is also the edge rusher. Donovan Irico from Boston College, 6'3", 248. He could be available. Mike Green from Marshall is another edge.
About to find out.
I don't
Eagles
know.
are on the clock.
I don't know if they go get Nick. I'll be honest with you, Sharif. It'll be great, but we do need some defensive line help.
Yeah, Howie's big in the trenches, so we're going to find out here. But I'll tell you this before the pick even comes in: I have confidence in Howie and the scouting department that they're going to give us a player that's going to be a contributor. I feel very, very confident in that. So let's see what player this will be. But I'm not worried about the pick at all. I'm just very curious as to who it's going to be, as I know all of you are also. We can use a safety. I wouldn't be mad with somebody in the trenches. With the track record that Howie has had in the last 4 or 5 years.
Hey, Dark Knight.
Yeah, what did we give up? What did we give up?
Oh, they just switched picks. 31. Yeah, they just switched. I had to put the glass shades on like you had the shades on. I was gonna go grab the hat, but the hat's in the car. I just realized the hat is in the car.
All right, so the Eagles are on the clock. They just swap picks to move up to Kansas City. They're that friendly with us. They just said, "All right, yeah, we'll swap picks with you. Well, you don't have to give us anything."
Jahad Campbell is available too. That's the linebacker from Alabama, who's the number 1 overall linebacker on the board. I'm sorry, number 2 overall linebacker on the board. 6'3", 235. We don't really buy. He's kind of slow.
Mike Green is Mike Green. Highly touted.
Mike Green from Marshall. He played at Marshall, so he doesn't get the accolades like these other guys are. He has Pro Bowl potential. I didn't really see much of him playing, but he did lead college football last year with 17 sacks, which actually set a record for Marshall. So,
Josh Simmons is an offensive lineman. Okay,
yeah, Josh. I don't think we get an offensive lineman right now, but I gotta turn this up because the pick is in.
All right, the pick is in. They're showing the draft room. The pick is in.
Are they high-fiving each other now?
Yeah, they were.
They got the guy.
It's a commercial now, though. So.
Oh, okay. So this is the compensation. Let me get the compensation for the draft. The Eagles acquired a 31 pick from the Chiefs for picks number 32 and pick 164.
All right. So what was the purpose of this? Really? I mean, why? What did you?
That's a 5th round pick. They got 4 6th-round picks. I mean, you got 4 5-round picks. So they get rid of one 5th-round pick. They don't need all 4 5th-round picks. Just to move up to make sure they get their person because they don't want. They've been waiting, and the guy's not is there. So whoever it is, they're real confident in. What's with the shades?
So here it is. Here it is. All right, I understand now.
Well, told me
so they were. They must have been hurt. They must have heard that another team was trying to move up to get the player they want. That has to be it. Because if you're not, obviously Kansas City didn't want this player, or they wouldn't have traded, right?
True.
So there had to be some talk somewhere of somebody trying to move up to get their player. So they just made the move to guarantee that they would get it. That has to be it. It has to be it.
I don't think so. I think what Howie's did. He sat back and let the board play itself. He had particular players he wanted to go after. If those particular players weren't available, he just sat back and let the board fall to him. And moving up one spot and getting rid of a fifth round pick, all these picks, this is toys for him to play with. We're not going to pick every. You're not going to use every single one of these picks, and it's just an opportunity
So
to
wait a
make
minute,
sure
Pat.
we guarantee to
You've
come
been
in.
drinking too much.
I have been
So
drinking.
you're basically telling me that Howie traded a fifth round pick just because he wanted to get rid of a pick.
Yeah.
that makes no sense to me. I mean, I know that maybe there's no rhyme or reason behind a lot of moves, but to tell me that the orchestrator of 3 Super Bowl teams just traded up one spot just so he can get rid of a pick.
Let me give you some information real quick before you say get rid of. They have pick in the fifth round. This is the picks they have in the fifth round. 161, 164, 165, 168. So the value of one of those picks is high. You can get rid of one of those picks, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna end up getting the pick back anyway. You're gonna end up getting the pick back anyway. Over the next 2 seasons, he has 20 picks he needs to get rid of. 20. You don't have 20 roster spots over the next 2 seasons for these players.
Please, my listener
you don't
audience,
have
please
you
tell
don't
me
have
you do
8
not agree
spots
with
on
this.
You don't have 8 spots on this roster right now for players to make it.
Like you said, someone else was trying to move up. Yeah, Hassan. Thank you, Hassan.
Oh, you gotta have your son on. Really?
Yeah. He's like, that's not my son.
Oh, that's not your. I
No.
saw my bad.
He said no. Somebody it has to be a rhyme. Howie is too smart to just say, you know what, I'm gonna trade a pick because we don't need all these picks. And this early in the draft when there's things that can happen. No, I don't believe that. But it's cool.
I thought it was in Howie we trust.
It is Howie. I'm trusting Howie, and I trust Howie to have made that move. Oh, you know what? I never thought of this. This is even more. This makes more sense than what you said.
What?
Howie basically moved up because I guaranteed that he was going to trade up. That's why he moved up. All right, now it's all coming back to me. That's why Howie made the trade. I told you there was a 95% chance that Howie was going to move up. And he did. The pick is in. And our Philadelphia Eagles, our defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles have selected
Jahad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama.
Jahad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama.
That's a big dude. Pause.
And Tony, you saw that, or you just guessed that, Tony? Because it was up there pretty early. Tony, did you correctly guess that, or did you see it on TV before we did? That's 100 though. He's good, right?
Yeah, he's real good. He's really good. It's a great pick.
Great pick. All right, everybody feels good. I feel good about it.
He has tremendous range as a linebacker. Let me speak on it real quick for you. Excuse me. He has Pro Bowl potential. He's 6'3", 235. First team All-CC. He ranked 20th in football, college football last year with 117 tackles, 5 sacks, 3 passes defense, 2 forced fumbles, and an interception. He has supreme speed. His range to the football flash. He's good solid on the sideline. He could add a little bit more weight, but working with Vaughn, he's going to be a monster with us. And I think we did this because we wasn't too sure of what's going on with Nakobe Dean. But just think about the outcome. In the next 5 years, your linebackers is going to be Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell, and Kobe, and I mean Trotter. These are your linebackers are set. We don't pick linebackers in the first round.
I know. That's what I'm saying. This guy has got to be good. Well, I not knowing a lot about him, but hearing what you just said, a top player on a top team. Again, we've been leaning towards SEC players. SEC being one of the strongest football conference out there, and to pick players, good players from good teams, from good conferences, is a great formula, and we chose another SEC top player from Alabama. So Howie goes back to the well once again. Georgia and Alabama, that's our team. And we have another player from Alabama, Jahad Campbell. Welcome to the Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome to winning. Welcome to winning.
Jahad Campbell at 6'3", 235 is almost the same size as Abdul Carter. He's about 10 pounds lighter, 15 pounds lighter. I want to see what they're going to do with this kid, because it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with him in this.
What injury? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Finish up.
No, he participated in whatever injury it was. He participated in the combine. He was able to come back from an injury. They don't have the information for his injury concerns here. Let's see. Tall, rangy linebacker. He's a reliable tackler. He's fluent. I'm about to go watch some tape on him before I go to sleep. So I can talk about it a little bit more next week, probably. I'm happy with this pick. I'm happy with this pick.
I'm happy.
I'm not in love with the pick. I see the potential with the pick. That just like Sharif said, that there's a safety out there that we could grab that could fill the role also. But you got to take one of the best players available. Jahad Campbell is the best player available on defense.
All right, and so that I'm happy with that. Hassan says he's coming off an injury though. What type of injury is that, Hassan? If you are willing to elaborate on that. Somebody else said, Hassan also said that N'Kobe's injury must be really bad.
They said it was bad. They said it was bad. He said N'Kobe himself said, he had to pop his knee back in place on the field, and he had to hold his kneecap. So he said it was bad. He said it's a bad injury. It's hard to recover from. He said that it might be a whole season before he comes back.
Okay, all right. So I don't like to hear that, because I wanted to add to what we already had. So meaning that I would have loved to see N'Kobe come back. But if this guy is as good as they say, I don't know if he's going to be ready for rookie season. Is he that good? Can he?
Yeah.
Will he be able to?
So he had a torn labrum.
Right in.
He had a torn labrum in the shoulder. He had a surgery performed after the scouting combine. So after the scouting combine, he actually, he had to rehab his shoulder. Let's say that it's uncertain when the injury occurred. So he said he should be ready for training camp.
Okay.
Campbell available to start the season without recovery from tear lumbar takes several months. Potentially putting Campbell's availability and start the season in doubt. He'll be ready. I believe he'll be ready.
Schefter saying Campbell was the target when the Eagles tried moving up to 23. So
I just saw that too. That just popped up.
Shepard, so Campbell is who we wanted all along, and they got their man, it seems like. So Howie has done it again. Keeping with
last pick of the night, Dark Knight. The Kansas City Chiefs, the second runner-up, the second place Blues. They picked
Josh Simmons
from Ohio State,
and they needed offensive help after seeing what we did too. They needed offensive help after seeing what we did to them in the Super Bowl, and Pat Mahomes running around for his life against our 4-man front. That was embarrassing to have him running around for his life with only a 4-man rush. So yeah, they go and get some offensive line help. Our Philadelphia Eagles add to our riches by adding one of the top linebackers in the draft, in a position that we actually do need to shore up a little bit, although we had great play at the linebacker position last year. And every year that we have gone to the Super Bowl, we have had great linebacker play. And I think that this team now realizes the value of linebackers on our defense. When we went and won in 2017, had great linebacker play. When we went back in 2022 or 2023, what was it? 2022, we had great linebacker play. And then last year with Zach Bond, N'Kobe Dean, great linebacker play, and we won the Super Bowl. So I think this team has finally realized that linebacker for us is a value position on our defense. And we go and shore up that position tonight with Jihad Campbell. And our Philadelphia Eagles are still in line to defend this Super Bowl championship. I have faith in Vic. I have faith in Howie. And I think that this team will be back in the mix next year. I'm not worried about the defense. I'm really not. Tony says how they obviously got their guy and Howie we trust. Of course, they picked the tackle, Sharif said, talking about Kansas City. Sharif also says the Eagles are still rumored to get Jalen Ramsey. Wow, what would that be?
We give him 2 5s. That's it.
Give them 2. Good. Give them 2 5s for Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I think that's a great move because although he has a huge contract, but he's only going to. I think that he would only be here like 2 years, realistically, right? He's got to be fast approaching 30 if he's not already there. So
who, Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah. How old is Jalen Ramsey?
Jalen Ramsey, I think he's 20. He's 30. I think he's 30.
You think he's got to be like right around 30?
Jalen Ramsey is, they don't say.
So the reason I say that is if he is around 30, you get 2 years out of him. Right around the
he's
time.
At 30.
Yeah, I knew that. So right around the time when it'll be time to start paying some of these young players like Jalen Carter and stuff like that. It'll be right around that time. He'll be due to come down because who's going to pay a 32, 33-year-old cornerback mega money? So he'll be coming off of that mega money contract that he has now. And we probably, and if we don't retain him, we've gotten 2 good years out of him. They probably can, Howie's a wizard with the salary cap, so they probably can fit him in right now. And just for a 2-year stay, hold it down, maybe win another Super Bowl. I would love to win another Super Bowl. I would always love to win a Super Bowl, right? But I would love to win another Super Bowl this year and make it 3, man.
Well, Dark Knight, we'd love to do it again, but we've been on here almost going on close to 4 hours.
That's all. I'm ready to go.
I'm fitting to go to sleep. I'm like, every day outside. I'm fitting to go to sleep. I'm taking this shot. I'm gonna look up some highlights from Jihad. Then I'm going to sleep.
He's starting to sound like Christopher. All right, guys, man. All right, let's take this shot. Here you go. You have watched the 2025 NFL Draft, the first round, with us on Eagles Talk. Here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Pat is going to have his last shot of Woodford Reserve as we turn in tonight. And we congratulate Jihad Campbell, the newest
Welcome to
Philadelphia Eagle. Welcome to the Bird Gang. Everybody down the hatch. Have a great time. We'll be back. I might be back next week. We'll be back next week and talk about this draft. All right. Until then, y'all enjoy. We're out. Peace.
Peace.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback whack, yo, sack that fool.